The title is pseudo-intellectuals. I mean, well, the thing is that there's one truth and there's a set of lies from that. So if you want the truth of humanity, I have it. And if you want lies, then give everything up.
You know, we really don't want to hear from you, Afrola.
Hold on. What I really want from you, Isola, is to take an Uber home and don't drive. Okay, I think you've had too many martinis tonight. David, how you doing, David?
Not only martinis, he's probably ate half a bottle of Xanax. He needs to fucking go home.
Got it. David, what's good, man?
Enjoy your spaces and this one too, clearing the air, and it's a good place to be on a Saturday night.
I appreciate you, Dave. Thank you. Opening the space. So now that I've calmed down, so happy Roger's here because I thought it kept going on. I get at least 1, 2, 3, maybe a week. Rumors made about me, my name in the title, and all that other bullshit. I really don't give a fuck. Do it. Haters are the ones that stoke the success. Bring the haters. But at least bring fucking receipts and truth. Don't lie. Isola. Hold on, what's the city saying? JBURAFAG. Okay. You can go in another room if I'm triggering you. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go popcorn style. Anthony, you spoken on. I'll try to shut it down. But you see, there's certain people on this app, right? Like Roger. If somebody says Roger, we all know who they're talking about. Somebody says Pepe, bro, we all know Pepe. Anthony, you're quickly getting into that realm of when people say Anthony, they know who the fuck you are.
So, yo, man, it's all good, man. I'm not mad at anybody. The problem with me is that I don't consider myself black first. I consider myself a human being above all else. That offends people. We live in a world where, identity politics rules. And, that makes me the worst type of coon. And it's like, I went to Montessori school, pre-K, kindergarten. And it was just like, it was just a bunch of different kids from all over. And it's not, I didn't realize I was different, until somebody pointed it out. But, we were just a bunch of kids having a good time. And I don't think my higher self gives a fuck about color or, this social construct race. I treat people the way they treat me.
Black.
It's all good, your piece.
Anthony, I'm just asking a question. I'm sorry for interrupting. You're saying
when you said I never knew. No, I said in kindergarten. I went to Montessori school. If you're familiar with Montessori schools, I don't know if you're not. They have very diverse student bodies, and there were kids from all hues, like Asian kids, white kids, Jewish kids. It was just like, it was a great experience.
And look in the mirror, you're black. Sorry.
It's okay. Let me just say this thing. Let's have this dialogue. And I'm gonna speak to you frankly because you're my friend, right? And just like you would speak frankly to me. I'm never gonna disparage your lived experience, right? Your lived experience gave you the views you have today. But I'm telling you, bro, some of the things you say come off as disrespectful because you're disparaging other people's lived experience. So what I'm saying to you, this is the realest I'm ever gonna get with you. I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling how you feel. You're entitled to feel how you feel. But I would massage the message a little bit because what you're doing is you're punching on people's history.
So as it relates to what you just said, JB, like earlier today in the chat, I was purposely pushing buttons and trolling. I absolutely was trolling. But what I said on stage, I stand on it and I believe it. It's like in certain people's mind, when Anthony Edwards says there isn't black culture, they think that I'm like eviscerating. I'm blackness. But then they don't hear when I say there isn't white culture either. It's that they stop listening after I say, yo, there isn't black culture. So I did say we can make an argument for African American culture. We could talk about subcultures. When Chaotic, aka Miki, came on, she started talking about subcultures. The very point that I made. She started talking about Louisiana. This is there were many black people on stage, off the stage, that had no idea about what she was talking about. They could not relate. So I think that when you have like black people, when you have people talking about black culture, it's really like you're doing a disservice to people. You're doing a disservice to like the diversity of people. And same thing with white culture. It's a disservice. It's a flattening of black people. Black people are too diverse to be pigeonholed by this term, this social construct.
But
this idea.
Let me ask you a question. I get what you're saying, but and I'm trying to massage my message because I don't want to insult you because you're my friend. And let me tell you something. I heard you stick up for me in that room today. That was integrity speaking. So I have a lot of respect for you, bro. Seriously, you could have just stood down and threw me under the bus, but you didn't. But when you bring up black women and STDs, there's no need for any of that, bro. Even if you're trolling.
So, JB, like real talk, man, and I would rather us have this particular conversation, offline. I'm not.
Wait, but hold on, JB. Didn't I send you something the other day about this specific issue? This isn't something that Anthony's just pulling out of his ass. Like, Anthony and I did not talk about that, and I sent you a specific article citing certain numbers within the black female population.
But Adams.
Is that him trying to do it divisively, or is that like a colloquialism in the science that exists?
Can you talk, please? Hold on a second. If you're paying attention to what I said, and there was no Anthony, you're right, I apologize. We should have this conversation offline, but let's just tie it up. If you massage the message, people will receive the message. But if you come at people and you try to shove it down their throat, and you do it the way you've been doing it, all you're gonna get is smoke and return and disrespect.
But I haven't even mentioned that statistic.
From Adams. Do I have to move you down, bro?
No, I thought you were referring to me, so I was just responding to you.
No, I said Anthony.
Okay, sorry, I misheard that.
Thank you. Anthony, go ahead, man, because I lost my
Yeah, I'm just gonna tie it up real quick, man. JB, like what you hear is, there's some people that they communicate differently. I really would love to see a better outcome for the so-called black community. I would really, and I think that black women hold the key to that. All right, I think that black women, they are in an extremely difficult position, and I empathize with them, but I don't pity them. I don't think pity helps anybody. And I think that if there was one group of people that could have the largest impact on the black community, it would be black women. If black women in mass said, we're not having sex without marriage, we'd see a lot more marriages. If black women in mass said, we're not having any children until we're married, you'd see a lot more marriages. Like, this is...
But here's the problem I have with what you just said. Here's the problem. Hold on.
Can a black woman get in there?
Okay, you have peace. I can move you down. I'm going to bring you back up, but you just constantly interrupt and screw up the flow of the conversation. I'll bring you back up in a minute. But Anthony, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, bro. It's not, if what you're saying is an issue in the black community, I'm going to give you a peek into the white community. It happens here too, bro. It happens in the white community as well.
I agree with you 100%, but JB, here's what's up, right? So there's a saying in the black community. Like, when white America catches a cold, black America catches pneumonia. The stuff that's happening in the black community is not unique to the black community. It's happening all over America. There are disenfranchised white men that are very upset with their lot in life. This is not something that, just Pearly Things, that white chick, she's talking about like the shit white men are going through. She's talking about shit men are going through in general. No one's saying that isn't true, JB. But yo, like JB, I grew up in a black community. I interact with a ton of black people. I'm more so aware of what I see and I'm intimately connected to. So I speak on the issue that I know best. But there's no like this. We can't have a battle of ideas. I never start shit. I finish shit. I'm never the person that's the aggressor. I keep my phaser on stun until people come.
Hold on, Anthony. Hold on, Dad. Hold on, I'm gonna come to you. I promise, but I gotta go to Pandora first, and then I want to get your piece back in the conversation because I do like to go to the ladies. Pandora, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. Long time no speak. And yourself, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
The mic is yours, ma'am.
Okay, so I've heard a few things, and I just feel like Anthony, you're kind of being a little harsh, and also, we are in a male-led society, and I don't like to use the word patriarchy because it sounds like I'm going all the way left, but I'm really not. Like, if the men are in charge, and the men are in charge of our society and they hold leadership, you can't put all the responsibility on the women, because even when the women do something, make a change, the men have to be in that conversation. So you can put all the responsibility on the women, but then it's how do you respect the men if they're not going to be a part of the solution? I don't know. It just, I don't know. I just didn't really like how harsh things are, because you need male leadership. We're in a patriarchal society. You kind of have to
Pandora, hold on one second, Anthony. Pandora, are you Naomi?
Yes.
Hey, what's up? It's been a long time.
Hey, I know, right?
Roger knows everybody's.
Wait a second, Anthony. I felt a little. I know other people in this room too felt a little spark there. Mojo, you want to talk to this young lady?
I will tell you, Pandora is one of the OGs from Healthy Debates.
Yeah.
She was around in the very beginning when this thing started, and then she got too cool for us. And
I had to get into my political career. I couldn't be on here like that.
Okay, you could have just changed your PTR, but you did get too cool for us, and you left.
Yeah. So Pandora, really quick to what you just said, right? Pandora, the unfortunate reality is that the so-called black community is not a patriarchy, it's a matriarchy.
Well, this is the thing. When you talk about something being a matriarchy, that's a societal framework, okay? So you could say things are operating in a, matrilineal fashion or something, but one thing that I will say is that you have to take in consideration class. So when you say black culture, we're not a monolith, you're right, because every white person isn't living in a trailer park. So you can kind of refine the conversation by saying, depending on class. Yeah, that's true, because I'm black.
But that's something I talk about all the time.
Yeah,
but socioeconomics.
Yeah,
it's something that I think that people have more in common based on their socioeconomic status than their race.
Anthony, let the young lady speak, please.
Let me just say about this, and I'll be done. But even within class, we do have our own subculture. So I'm middle upper class, whatever, upper middle class. But we as upper middle class black people, we do our own thing. We have our own subculture. We go to our own churches. We have our own social clubs that we go to. Things that are totally separate from white America. I'm not saying we don't like white people. We have a problem with them, but we do a lot of things amongst ourselves. We have our own, Jack and Jill, the Links. I just went to a gala, the Links Gala. We have our little events. I
Junior
used
League.
Government.
I'm affiliated with pretty girls from Jack and Jill.
So
I'm a Junior League girl.
Okay, so I used to do oratorical competitions. I used to, when I was in college, when I was at the beginning of my career, I interned at the district attorney's office with other black people that helped me get connections. So it's just kind of we have our own society, but it's still like our black society.
So,
within
Pandora,
here.
what's the significance of what you just said?
I just said we have our own black society.
I didn't understand what the overarching point you're trying to make.
Telling you we have black societies and groups.
Yeah, so the lower
That
middle
was never
class,
disputed.
that's black culture, right? The middle class has black culture, and like, yeah, like you could say maybe we have like more in common with a middle class white person than a lower class black person. Yeah, that's cool, I get it, but like what I'm saying is that like we still have a black culture within a class, and it is a black culture.
Okay, so Pandora, we went from talking about. Yeah, just really quick. We're having a little back and forth, man. Pandora, I think the conversation it's bouncing around. Like, I was midstream talking and you jumped in, and I'm cool to defer to you. It's all good, but it didn't. This like you jumped onto this whole culture conversation, and then like you kind of delineated based on socioeconomic strata, different types of black people, further making my point as it relates specifically to culture. That we can talk about subcultures, but this overarching black culture doesn't make sense when you hold up the microscope. That's what I've been saying, and you reiterated. But like, it had nothing to do with the previous conversation. I'm gonna pass it to Dab.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
I just wanted to say one thing.
Dab. Let your piece go real quick, and then
I was supposed to go, but you know what? Your piece. Go ahead.
Please, and it's just a statement. I really didn't have a lot to say, but a lot of things that this lady just said, Pandora, like she talked about Jackie. Pandora, can I ask you a question? Are you familiar with Junior League?
Oh, I've never heard of it.
All I'm saying is we're similar to Jack and Jill. Okay, so we're like a non-profit organization. We're out there in the community. We're doing things in a lot of non-profit, like impoverished area, but it's not specifically just to black. Now we do have our own subgroup where it's like Junior League for color girls. Okay, black girls. So we do outside of what we do, outside of the organization, we still get outside, boots on the ground, and go to our own neighborhoods and infiltrate with the same shit that we learn from this 401c3 nonprofit organization. That's all I'm saying. And the people that don't do that and women that don't do that, I don't fuck with them. Because you can get the information, but if you don't take it back to the hood to help your people, bitch, fuck you.
Thank you, your piece. Let me. Danny, I got you.
Okay.
If I don't go to Dap, he's gonna beat me up. That you go after Dap.
All right, so some of the stuff I do not agree with what Anthony's saying, but there's stuff that Anthony says I do agree because I understand what he's saying and I get his point. I really do. So the thing is this, right? So as somebody that I came to America when I was like a very early teenager. So one of the things that I've realized, and I'm not going to, I have so much tremendous respect for America, the culture that's here, because Americans, you guys don't understand. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart as somebody that came here and I connected. They screwed you guys head up. I don't think a lot of you don't even get it, but I'm gonna go to my. Give me a second, JB, before you even come off your mic. Just hold on.
Okay, I'm tired of hearing you, bro. Because I don't know what the fuck you're saying. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, you come in and you just want to derail the conversation. I don't know what your story is, but I'm gonna go to Danny because she's pretty and she's smart. Danny, how you doing?
Good, JB. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. The mic is yours.
Fantastic. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, we had this conversation kind of earlier, and I was just like, someone brought up, like, why do we always speak about black culture? Why don't we speak about white culture? And it's like, it's not a conversation amongst white people, because thing. Like, I really believe, I kind of agree again with what I think, oh dang, did he leave? Was it Anthony? Or whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, he'll be back.
He'll be back. This is like a joke, and the fact that we have this conversation all the time, we get so emotional about it. Like, black culture is like a term someone coined together to just put all of us in a box. Like, kind of Pandora. I didn't agree with everything Pandora was saying, but it's like when she said that there's different things that different type of black people do in different classes. Absolutely. Yeah, so just try to say like all black people do this, or we all are behind this one thing is freaking ridiculous. White people know, other races of people know. Like, you can't box us all in one box. There's so many different things people do. So many different things people like to do, and and follow behind religion. All of that. It's so broad of a spectrum. Like, we can't even have a conversation talking about just our group of people. Like, this is so crazy, and the fact that people get so riled up about it. Like, I literally just went into Google and I typed in white culture, and they said we can't really define it. But I put in black culture, and they literally put black culture is African American culture. It's like, whoa. It's like, whoa, and then what is that? And it's just like, and then we break it down. It's like, whoa, why are all African Americans?
It's not the same.
It's crazy.
We've never been to Africa.
I agree, but they put us into this box, right? They want to call us African Americans, because in their eyes we're all from Africa, right? In their eyes, we all look like we just got off the boat. So stop feeding into it. Like, this is not I'm mad we're having this conversation still, but we have to talk about it because people are, so riled up. But we have to nip this in the bud, guys. This is crazy. But I'm done. That's all I want to say.
Well, Danny, to give you a little context, because I think you came in a little late, this conversation wasn't about black culture, or is there such thing as a black community? But some people say there isn't, some people say there is. This is really about me being called a racist because I hold spaces and I give black people a place to speak. And you guys are breaking code by talking to me. See, there's this code that nobody sees but we know about. So that's really, and I was just ranting for about 30 minutes earlier about fuck what people think. I'm going to stand on my square and support who I want.
Yeah, I was in that room earlier when that young man went off on you, and I was so irritated. I had to do something else. I couldn't really speak on it. And like saying the white man mask, like when he said people were getting on their knees, I was like, come on, man, this is crazy. Whether you host spaces or not, like with a bunch of black people, who cares? Who cares? It's not like you're speaking negatively about black people, so why even point it out?
Hey, Danny, Anthony came back.
So weird.
Did you want to address what Anthony said earlier? Now that he's back, I told you he'd be back. Anthony's like that kitten Anthony's that kitten that you feed that always comes back.
No, I don't even remember. I remember he just saying like, this is ridiculous. Like, you were kind of agreeing. Like, dang, I don't even remember. You were going back and forth with Pandora about, you can't kind of put us into a box because there's so many different types of us. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what you said.
I think you got the gist of what I was trying to say. I might not have articulated it as well as you just did, but yeah, I think you got the gist of it.
Yeah, and I was just saying, I completely agree. Like, this whole black culture term is another way to put all black people into a box, and we're just not that. Yeah. So I was just saying I agree with you.
I appreciate it, and thank you for taking the spirit that I meant it and not getting offended. To me, we're just talking about ideas, but there's people that, they get so angry when we talk about ideas that they want to actually, reach out into your real life and try to hurt you, try to dox you, try to swat you, try to, just fuck up your life. That's what, and you just have some people like that on Clubhouse that are just, really, really miserable. But
wait, let me just say the same thing. I get at least, there's no bullshit, just in the last 24 hours, I've gotten 2 death threats, and somebody told me I should kill myself on this app. It is what it is, man. The mental illness is real on this app.
Jay, welcome. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. it's very funny that people want to say that I'm pro-black, and I just gave a list of rooms that I ran before this, app turned into what it was, and we were all summoned, from the home workplace back into the office. Let's talk about the room that I had trying to convince, black transgendered sex workers to get out of the sex trade and to actually go to school. Let's talk about, the rooms where we were discussing, long-term care policies, for seniors, and how the insurance policies in America and, the underwriting is actually pushing black America out of opportunities to be able to equitably age in place. Let's talk about that room at Bruce's Beach. That was my room. Goat was sitting up in there, and him and I were exchanging ideas as far as alternative development practices.
Let's have this dialogue, right?
I'm just saying, Jay, it's fake outrage.
But here's the thing. I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. You can do 1,000 great things on this app, but when you go into spaces and call people baboons, silverbacks, and all these other things that you use, it erases everything you did good. I'm just telling you, you know how this app works. So when you come with that type of stuff, people remember what you're saying, and they pay attention to when you talk.
Well, and that Jay unfortunately says more about them than it does about me, because these same people complaining about inflation, a lack of opportunity, a lack of knowledge, a lack of resources. Well, guess what? I opened up rooms until 2 o'clock in the morning when I had to, have meetings because somebody had one last question that they wanted to further understand a certain political concept that they misunderstood in the beginning of that conversation. Some people could say, yeah, I could be taking a nice vacation to Hawaii. Instead, I donated a copious amount of money, to inner city schools so that they're able to have backpacks, full of school supplies in black neighborhoods where they're being encroached on by Latinos. So it's very, very, very crazy to me how people, follow me, behind my back with a camera every day. They follow my money, they follow my checkbook, and somehow they understand who I am in hearing the brief parts of my workday.
Wait. Listen, bro. You're not hearing me right now. All that doesn't matter when you come into a space, go into a chat, and call people baboons and monkeys and silverbacks and all this other the nastiness that you say. So before you continue, hold on, Adams. AUZIA, go ahead, hon.
I was just going to say, Dr. Adams, I don't know you from a can of paint. This is my first time navigating these spaces. And I also don't know you to question the validity of the things you've done for my community. If you've done those things, thank you very much. We need them. But I guess my question would be to you, how are you then holding two truths, this value and this love and appreciation you have for the African American community with your works, but then at the same time, when I look at the messages, I see you saying disparaging things about single black women. I see you mocking us, and I don't even know you, and none of the things that you've said about black women thus far even apply to me. So as someone who's a complete stranger to you, how am I supposed to believe that you have my best interests at heart when you can't even keep it clean in the comments?
Well, again, you make a very interesting point. As I relay sentiments about a certain demographic of black women that does not speak to your existence, I'm not speaking about you.
Well, you're not talking about me, but you are.
There's an unrendered.
You're talking about people I love. You're talking about people.
Okay, so now we're having a genuine conversation. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So my point is, I have family members who are single black women with children, and I don't understand why you would say disparaging things about them, but then turn around and do good things for them.
Who's saying who is saying any disparaging things about single black women?
I just read a comment where somebody was talking, and you said that person was responding like a single black woman, and she's probably over there
from the standpoint of mannerisms, right? From the standpoint of mannerisms, I also said that he probably has his hand on his hip, shaking his hoop earrings and rolling his neck. And so again, what does that have to do? Hey, I grew up with a black grandmother that definitely did that. So I mean, again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna call it where I see it. Does that speak to a certain type of economic and socioeconomic failure and moral failure? No, it doesn't. What I'm simply deploying is the same strategy. How he wanted to attack me and accuse me of being a homosexual, I'm going to accuse him of being very like adjacent to an irreverent black woman to the likes of what we saw on Babs. So again, how is that, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't hate black people. So let's not miss me with that narrative. Miss me with that narrative because again,
Adams, you gotta let her talk also, bro.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was saying is I think for my own piece, I'll probably disengage with him because I think he's dangerous.
You don't have to. You don't have to, and I'm definitely not dangerous.
I actually think he's dangerous because...
Got it.
I'm sorry?
Got it. I use a calculator and a computer, and I wear a suit to work and I don't sag my pants, so I must be dangerous. I must be dangerous, y'all.
Yeah.
Hide your kids, hide your wives. Adams is trying to make America great again. I must be dangerous.
Oh, hold on.
Speaking about buying a Tesla.
Everybody hold on.
That's how dangerous
Hold on. Everybody hold on, please. I want to go to Danny. Go ahead, Danny.
No, I just wanted to ask, Azia, is that how you pronounce your name? I don't want to mispronounce it.
It's Azia. Yeah, you got it.
Azia. So, what about what he said now makes you think he's dangerous? I didn't get that correlation. Now, why is he dangerous?
I think he's dangerous because he's the kind of white person that says one thing but does another.
He's not white. He's not white.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is your nationality? What is your ethnicity?
So he won't be dangerous if you find out that he's not white. Is he no longer dangerous?
No. I assumed that he was white, so that's why I addressed him that way. But if he's black, he's still dangerous. Because he's just disparaging.
But isn't that assumption dangerous?
Wait. I really want to hear her answer.
I just answered.
Oh, I thought you were still speaking. Okay.
He doesn't. He does not.
In this room of respecting lived experiences, why is everybody attacking this woman's lived experience in the people?
Nobody's attacking her. We're questioning her.
Yeah.
We're questioning her.
Y'all use the word attack.
So again, if anything, I was attacked by giving an identity that was placed onto me from a standpoint of negativity. All right. So let's not do that, Theo.
Let me offer you this. I'll be the first to apologize for assuming you're white. You sound like white corporate people that I work under. So I'm sorry. I did the same thing I thought you were doing, which is stereotyping. I'm not above that. I'm a human being. So I do apologize.
No, but I wasn't stereotyping. I made it a point to point out.
You don't think it's stereotyping?
Hold on. I pointed out a specific subculture segment of an identity group that exists in America. I was not stereotyping. You just assumed because of the way that I speak. I was specifically referring to certain patterns of behavior and ideology. I talked about the hoop earring swinging. I talked about, the lack of the existence of the nuclear family. I was very specific. But you just heard my voice. And instead of being very specific, you painted my identity with a very broad brush.
It's not about your voice, it's about the...
No, but I'm just saying.
So first, somebody in the comments said I'm about to call him a coon. I'm not going to do that. I don't speak that way. If you
do, I would prefer that you call me a trash panda.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to call you a trash panda.
Wait a second. I have to ask everybody mute up. Black girl, I got you. Give me a second. Adams, I have to ask you, man. What the fuck is a trash panda?
I mean, it's a raccoon. I mean, don't you see raccoons going through the garbage?
Amen.
Gotcha. Aren't they black and white? I mean, come on.
Gotcha. All right, so everybody mute up, please. I want to go to black girl. Black girl, how you doing?
Black and gray.
Hi, I'm fine. How are you, JB?
I'm doing great. The mic is yours.
Yeah, Dr. Adams, I thought you told me you were half white.
No, I said that my father is a black American, my mother is foreign. I've consistently said that since I've been on this app. You guys miss a room with my DNA test in the PTR. It's crazy.
Either way, he's not white. But, I just wanted to get back to this in terms of the dangerous part.
Okay.
By the way, let Black Girl... Did you land your plane, ma'am?
No, he got it.
All right, Azia? Did I say that right, Azia?
Yes, you did.
Thank God. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that any person, especially when we are talking about race stereotypes, right? I think it's dangerous for anybody to hold two truths. And that's what's confusing to me. That you would both want to help the African American community and disparage us at the same time. I think black women have it hard enough.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Before you continue?
Yes.
I'd like to ask a follow-up.
Hold on, Adam.
I'm just saying I would like to ask a follow-up. I'm not trying to
okay, you are, though. Azia,
Yes.
Don't you feel what you did with him, and I know you didn't know, was stereotyping him?
I did, and I apologize. I'm sorry. Did everybody hear me? Acknowledge my own human nature that I stereotyped him as a racist white man, and he's not even white, and I apologize for that. Did everybody hear that?
Okay, my apologies.
We heard the apology, but you made the same thing. He's saying you did the same thing that he did. Though.
Listen. I accept your apology. I don't feel like it was necessary. I really don't. I'm not that petty. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I think that you're an exceptional speaker. I think that you have exceptional points, and I do agree with Jay. In having your presence as being somewhat like refreshing, and just the brain rot and the echo chambers that we hear. So there's no offense taken. It is what it is. People are going to think what they think.
So I just want to add this last thing, right? So as a black woman who is a single black woman, I don't have any children, but I navigate spaces where I have to constantly be in community with professional white men and biracial men. And I did not mean to stereotype you as white. It's just some of the rhetoric you're saying reminds me of them. And so when I go into professional spaces, they already have assumptions about me and who I am based off of stereotypes. And this is why I say it's dangerous, because people expect me to be a certain way. And so I lose certain privileges due to that in spaces that I need to be able to navigate in safely. And so, sure, one person saying one thing about black women that's disparaging might not be a problem, but in the aggregate, it's quite difficult for us. And that's the only point that I'm making. So if you love us, and it sounds like you do, if you're willing to do community with us and you're willing to help us, I don't understand why you're speaking the way that you are. That's just the question.
Can I answer her question?
Yes, just give me one.
Go ahead.
Faye, are you there, Craig? Some app is glitching. I get nervous when Craig's so quiet for so long. I just want to make sure he's all right over there. But go ahead, Adams.
Yeah. So when Craig gets quiet, I feel like people should be very concerned, because that man's about to take over fashion. He's about to take over retail distribution. Shout out to Craig. But here's what I will say. I hear where you're coming from. I totally do. I don't hold any type of vitriol beliefs about black women in the terms of collectively assigning responsibility from a subset of bad acting black women to all collecting black women. So again, I'm very specific in the things that I say. Okay, the mumble
we
rapping.
got Astro in the chat with the N word with zero friends who's
got it. No, go ahead, David. That's important. Remove that person.
Some of these people need to be removed in the chat.
Hold on. For all you would-be moderators, I want to throw this out there. I've been moderating rooms. I would venture to say I probably, with the exception of maybe the Biblical Smoke Room, I've probably modded more rooms than anybody on this app. And I can tell you, the one thing you should stop asking for is for people to be removed so quickly, because what happens when you allow it to stay is you allow people to report it. And so I don't like calling that out, but sometimes you guys need to have the obvious pointed out to you. If somebody's saying something that's against the terms of services, just simply report it.
Thank you, I forgot about that.
Thank you, everybody. Where were we? We were Adams.
Yeah, so I just want to say this very briefly. I don't hate black women, okay? I love black women. I don't think that black women are the bane of existence or the scum of the earth. That's not the sentiment that I'm coming from. The specific subgroup of black women that exist in black culture, not identifying collective black culture, is down bad. I'm talking about the Altima driving, okay, shower cap wearing, no apologetic, having, irreverent black woman. And to be very honest with you, listening to the comments and the sentiments of other black people, they are just as much of a strain to our identity as anybody else trying to act badly and to do bad to our said identity. So I get where you're coming from. I hear that, the second that I say black women, people feel like I'm applying to all black women. I'm not applying to all black women. I'm talking about a certain socioeconomic subset of the black community that has exemplified moral degeneracy, socioeconomic failure, and a deployment of tactics that, quite frankly, demonize white people from the standpoint of not wanting to get equality, but otherwise revenge.
Thank you, Adam. So everybody hold on, please. I want to, Nye, are you there, Nye?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you want to chime in, or you just want to sit back?
Well, I don't have anything to add as relates to the Adams. Does he like black women or not? I mean, I find Adams quite hilarious, so I don't know. He's on my Clubhouse friends list, so, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm a jaded Capricorn, so you know what I'm saying? I like dark humor of all kinds. So I don't really have anything to say about the Adams debate.
That's racist. Don't use the term dark humor.
Well, New York, in response to that, New York,
ask a question real quick?
when they drag me,
Adams, hold on a second. Frank, did you say something, Frank?
Yeah,
I was worried about you, man. You were too quiet for too long. Okay.
No, my bad. I was just a little busy. That's all. I was gonna say, KK was removed from the room. I just wanted to let you know that. I don't know who removed her.
That would be me, because she was taking personal shots at me. KK and I have a long history.
Oh.
So,
okay.
yeah, and it's not a good one. So if she wanted to come up, she could have came up. But then she starts talking about me, my family, my past, all that other bullshit. You know, I'm not dealing with that. That's why this room was open. You got something to say, stand on your square, come up. Now, your relationship with her, Trey, that's cool. I get it. I respect it. But, you know, she needs to show a little respect to me in my room as well. That's all I'm saying.
Roger that. Roger that.
Thank you. Let me go. CO, are you there, CO?
Yo, I'm here, JB. You know,
And I see you put a new picture up, man. You looking good.
I can't finish speaking before you.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I put the horseback riding in the mountains on that, man. Based on the conversation in one of the other rooms I think you were in, but you know, man, I'm gonna be honest, JB. It's been a long day for me. I've been multitasking in the background, man. And these conversations, man, they're taxing. It's exhausted, man. And the only thing I think I will say, I changed my mind, is all humans function because of our brain, where we were crafted and created, and mental health is real, right? So just don't like the gaslighting that people don't realize that they're doing, for a lot of my culture in particular, when they almost base people as stupid for feeling this way. People were stupid for being emotional. People were stupid for reacting. But these are people's real experiences, man. These are humans, right? They're not just, there's no wand that we can wave and say, get over it. Stop feeling that way. You know, people have some real opinions, man, and there's no way we're gonna punch and shame them from responding the way they do, man. Every human being, man, is just, people operate, people are like computers, man. We come into the world out of a womb, and we get programmed. Whether we're black, white, tall, skinny, fat, ugly, pretty, whatever, we get programmed and conditioned between nature and nurture, between, the genetic information that's there, and then everything we absorb and ingest for this world, man. So people aren't just being who they are to spite other folk. I just hear a lot of ignorance in a lot of these rooms, man. You know what I'm saying? So I pity the ignorance more than I have disdain for it, right? So I just want to just make sure that we have a beat of compassion. And I hear people always saying, hey, no, you uppity Negroes are cool with me. It's just I hate the low-class Negroes that baby mamas and when people say that, man, I almost get a headache, man. It's like, I'm trying to be funny. I got cousins that you guys would think ain't shit. I got a bunch of family members that are accomplished academics. I got a cousin that's a pimp. I got cousins that hustle. I got family that's a Buffalo Soldier and a Tuskegee Airman in history. I got some family that's the top of military, family that's the top of academia. And I love them all just the same, man. Got family that's cracked out. Who are we to keep throwing stones like we're above people, man? You know what I'm saying? These are real fucking human beings that we're talking about, whatever color they're in. I just wish people would have a look. And I guess none of you are religious, because I don't care if it's Buddha, it's Allah, you know what I'm saying? I can, whatever other name you want to do, from the Torah or Jesus, whoever you want to talk about, all of these religions have some type of redemptive quality, right? Where humans are capable of taking what they did yesterday and turning it into a brighter freaking tomorrow. That's why JB sitting at the top of the I'm wrapping up. I know you guys weren't going to take it. I probably went 2 minutes too long. What am I at, a minute and a half now? Usually people jump in. I get it. Hold tight. JB should be able to be redeemed from whatever he did, because he's authentic. He's real. And I rock with people no matter what color you are. If you're pro-culture, pro-human, I rock with you because of your mentality. I'll just leave it there, man. I just wish people had more compassion for the mental health of this world going through a lot of tough shit.
Thank you, CO. So, Dab, I know you have a different experience of it politically, correct? Yeah, we run it a little differently. So I need you to start respecting what people are talking. I know what you have to say is more important than everybody else.
It's
but I've given. Well, then you need to show a little mind control. Then
yeah,
let people speak.
Dropping.
I'm gonna do this because you come up.
Because it's his room. It's his room, Dab. Let him run the room like he wants to run the room, man. You have a couple of good points every now and then, but you keep coming up demanding and devoing. How you come into somebody's house and tell them the protocols for the house, my brother? It's out of respect. You know what I'm saying? JB, I disagree with JB on some things. But what I agree with him on is he's real. He tries to run his house with professionalism. In terms of most of the houses, the dude always is trying to give whoever's there an opportunity to speak, even if he doesn't like their opinion. So just let's respect the moderator, man, when we're in the rooms, and have more compassion from the human experience, man. Shit, y'all give me that.
Thank you, CO, man. I can hear the energy in your voice, bro. William, how you doing, William? William, are you there?
Yeah, what's up? How's it going?
Did you want to? It's going well. Do you want to chime in on the conversation?
I mean, I can say this. I don't know technically what season we're in, but this seems like a season finale that's been spicier than any episode I've heard in a long ass time.
Yeah, you know what happens? I'm gonna tell you what happens when people mistake my kindness for weakness. They take my kindness as stupidity, and then when they punch down on me and I punch back, they're like, "Oh shit, who's this dude?" See, they brought out another side of me. I try to have good conversation, civil conversation, let everybody speak. But when you come at me, expect me to come back. But thank you for that, William. Scooby, what's up, Scooby?
What's up? I'm enjoying the room today.
Just today?
Just today.
Got you. Danny, I know you tried to jump in. Did you want to jump in, Danny?
No, I wanted to say this is kind of a conversation. Other people have spoken since Isaiah. Am I saying that right? I keep looking at it.
It's Isaiah.
Isaiah. So she's.
It's a beautiful name, by the way.
Beautiful. I'm mad at myself. I'm messing it up.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's like, yes, we all go through things. Yes, but when we say things and we allow people to trigger us, and it's not even to you, like doctor, like you're not a single mom, are you, Azia?
No, I'm not.
You're not, but somehow you got it triggered. And I get it. You say you have family members and stuff, but it's just like someone put in a check, and this has been something I'm sure everybody has heard. Like, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, And I don't think, yes, people should be, the way they communicate should be there should be some decorum, right, on how you say certain things. But again, if you give people so much power and you let people, you've allowed people to get you riled up like that, it shows a lack of control, of emotional control. To me, it shows a lack of intelligence. I put on my story today, I was like, you found it offensive, I found it funny, that's why I'm happier than you. Like, that's the type of mentality I feel like most people should have.
I want to have the opportunity.
Hey, Danny.
Yes.
Hey, Danny, I'm going to tap off for a minute. I'm just giving you 30 seconds. Gives you the audacity to ride in on a high horse telling somebody what they should or should not be triggered by. I'm really disturbed by your attitude, and you think that you don't know this woman's experience. You don't know what trauma. It'd be like if somebody was.
Bro, you did the same thing today.
Really did. Go ahead.
You literally did the same thing.
Everybody mute up. Let the man land his plane.
Sure. Hold time real quick. We don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people's lived experiences. You don't know if just today somebody said something to her, or somebody ran over a family member, or somebody, she lost a family member. We don't know what other people are going through. And if I did, I never said that I'm perfect. You just see that I lost my cool and cussed somebody out. I don't even know who they are. So yeah, you could throw stones at me, but it's not making it about me. Just make it about the moment right now, and let me do what I'm saying everybody else should do. Let me do it too. But what I'm saying is, this woman, Azia, just came in and said what she said, and I just said what I said. Please, Danny, please answer me, because you seem like a beautiful woman, super intelligent, and you mean well, but how can you tell a culture or a human what they should be triggered by? I don't get it.
I am a beautiful and intelligent woman. Yeah, thank you. But it's crazy. As you said, I was on a high horse, so I literally have a PTR on a horse high up. But anyway, I'll answer your question. I literally asked her, if she's mom's talking about, I don't know what she's going through. And I asked that specifically so I can understand if she's going through something, specifically referring to the comment Dr. Adams made. Hold on. I didn't interrupt you guys. We are all going through stuff. You don't know if I'm going through something, but you had the nerve to get off your mic and say, oh, you on your high horse. I could be going through stuff right now. That doesn't determine you responding. That shouldn't determine on how you respond to things. And that you just absolutely proved my point. Responded emotionally to something that had nothing to do with you, right?
There's nothing wrong with emotion. Emotion is cool.
It is.
There's nothing wrong with emotion.
You shouldn't be led by your emotions. You're never going to succeed that way. I'm successful, and I can say, you say, how dare can I speak on this? I can tell you I'm around successful people. I was speaking first, and you now are interrupting me. You now are interrupting me when I was speaking first.
And they're successful, so don't demonize emotion. Stop telling people that.
When you allow it to dictate, there's nothing wrong with having emotions off this app when you're speaking.
Everybody named her dead.
What, Craig?
And what's the point? Who said that?
No, I said everybody he just named, they're all dead. So what point does that really prove they're all dead?
It's so irrelevant. Okay, so what?
Who? I don't even want to know who that is. Go ahead, finish your point.
Emotions are fine to have. I agree. Like when you're talking to your sister, everybody has emotions. Women have them 10 times stronger, in my opinion. Absolutely. But when it comes to having an actual conversation amongst strangers, nobody, I think, knows anybody in person. I don't think. I might be wrong. You can't let things you're going through and your emotions to be put in a conversation. And again, allow you to be led by them. Right? You have to look at what somebody's saying. Remove yourself out of it.
JB is the host of the room.
Okay.
He opened up the room, and for 1 hour, we empathize and listen to JB's emotions. Are you punching down on Azia? So tell me, why don't you do me a favor and tell me how you really feel, and if you can stand on your square.
Was he speaking on his? Wait, let me ask
about his emotions.
Was he talking about his emotions or something that actually happened?
Yes, he was. He was talking about all of the above. Something that happened.
Something that actually happened isn't their emotions. See, this one.
Who was emotional? I was literally with our facility nurse taking somebody's blood pressure. Okay, and then I came.
Adam, nobody was even talking about you. So you being emotional and nobody even called your emotional name.
Got it. So it wasn't emotional when you were calling for mass reporting because you heard something that hurt your feelings? That emotion. That emotion.
I was emotional because you called the chick a black.
Oh, so you're admitting that you're emotional. So at least you're admitting that you're emotional.
Hey.
Right. Got it.
Wait, CO, let me jump in here. Let me jump in. CO, let me jump in.
One thing, JB.
So he's emotional and not impartial.
Adam, stop,
I'm
please.
not
Get
mad
it.
at emotional. I'm mad at emotional obtuseness. I'm emotional at a low emotional intelligence. Let's get our emotional intelligence game up. Emotion is cool, right? We just have to be mature and intelligent about it for whatever it's worth. And Adams, I don't see that in how you handle yourself in these rooms at all. JB, what were you saying?
Well, I'm just going to give you my opinion. Two opinions, actually, and then we can get back to the conversation. My first opinion is, and I said this the other day, and I'll stand on my square. Clubhouse needs more people like Azia. We need to hear this voice. Because what she says, and you don't have to agree with what she says. That's fine, that's your opinion. But what she says from the heart. I love this young lady. I think she's amazing. That's my opinion. But I also say this. There's nothing wrong with being emotional. We're human beings. So I don't understand. Is that supposed to be like a slight on people? Because CEO shows emotions or I show emotions? I think I think society has punched us down so much and pussified men that they're afraid to show their emotions. That's really how I feel. But back to you, C.
Well, hold on. Before you do, I want to address that. So, I am liberal in the chat is saying that that he sees CO in other rooms, saying things that are anti-white. I just want to say this. This feels a lot like the things that were happening when people was saying things about JB when they were on the stage. And so I am liberal. I will welcome you to come onto the stage and say what you were actually saying. I've been in many rooms with CO, and I agree with him on some things, and I disagree with him on others. But rather than just accusing somebody of saying things that are anti-white or anti-black or whatever it might be, why not say what those things are, and then we can have a conversation and figure out if people really believe these things or not. Because right now all I see is a lot of accusatory things that happen, and they go all directions. They come for me, they go for JB. Now they're coming for CO. I'm just trying to understand this. CO, can you help me understand why somebody would say that you're anti-white?
Can I offer some insight after he's done finishing?
Hold on, everybody mute up. CO, guys, CO.
To respond to
I would love to hear what that is, and I thank you, Mojo, for what you said. You guys have talked about ideas and concept being discussed is the real treasure, and I want to get to that on any day, man. Thank you for being objective. Welcome that person up because I want to hear it. If it is, let me know because I've never heard myself speaking in that voice. I'll tell you about my history one day, but I did want to hear Azia respond whenever we get.
Well, before she responds, CO, wait. Hold on a second, Andrew. Let me just say this. CO, let me say this. People, it's just my opinion, have this idea, right? This ideology that if you're pro-black, you're automatically anti-white because they don't take the time to get to know the person. They already have their preconceived notions. But Azia, did you want to answer a question that was most you?
Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick response to Danny. Danny, I'm not gonna flat out accuse you of trying to micromanage my feelings or how I process or anything like that, because I do think you made some valid points about not being led by your emotions. What I'll say briefly is that in my line of work, I see black and brown young women with multiple children. I'm in the domestic violence space, so I see directly how stereotypes of them affect them when they come to receive resources. We have these background channels that we go through to try to get these women help, and I will hear the conversations of my white counterparts and how they talk about these women, and yes, they will disassociate me from them because I'm in front of them and I have a Juris Doctorate, right? But they don't know that those women are the same kind of women that are in my family. So if I get emotional when I hear black women being disparaged and these dark things that I personally feel, that's just my opinion, are being said about them without context, by the way, of how we got to that place, because we don't spend a lot of time talking about how black women became the way that we complain about. Yes, I did get frustrated, and you may have heard me be animated at my speech, but I want to make a distinction. That's not me being led by my emotions. I have to sit in front of white men every single day who tell me how the black woman has no value. And I sit there and smile, and I write my contracts, and I make my arguments, all without getting animated. It's only when I'm at home right now in the peace and comfortability with you all, complete strangers that I don't know, that yes, I allow myself, after 12 hours a day of being reserved, to not be reserved. And I think I owe that. I think I deserve that, and I've earned that, and I'm not going to judge myself for it.
So Zia,
Hold on, Andy. Everybody mute up. Because I got to say something, man. Yo, Jamal, I got a lot of love, respect for you, man. I heard what you said today. You tried to stick up for my room, my house, and for me. So I'll punch back at people, but I'm also
Thanks, JB.
Man, I appreciate you are honest. That's why I ask people to please be honest. So I just wanted to shout you out, man. Thank you for that, really. Get in.
no problem, appreciate it. So Zia, like, is there any room, right, to have an honest conversation without rancor or aggression, but be critical of people's choices and just say, from your perspective, why you don't think this is a good idea? Is there any room for a conversation like that without it being so, like, without you having, like, an emotional response to talking about these ideas?
I can respond to that with a question. If I make statements about black men that are disparaging, and maybe you are capable of it. Maybe you are capable of hearing those things without being personally connected to it. If you're asking me if I can have a rational conversation about areas in which black women should take accountability, which, by the way, there are many areas in which black women should take more accountability, then yes, I'm able to do that. But to ask me to remove my identity from the conversation, no, sir, I'm not able to do that.
So, like, Zia, like, I try to be the example of the life that I want to live. An indictment on black men is not an indictment on Anthony Edwards. All right, I'm not. So, like, I don't want to say conceited or have this overinflated sense of self, but there's this thing in the so-called community where people will read a news article and they're like, I hope the assailant wasn't black. I hope the assailant was. It doesn't reflect on me. There's nothing, like, I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm not defined by other people's actions. And like the young lady Danny, she was just explaining to you from her perspective, her approach to the world, and maybe like me hearing, a real controversial person, Andrew Tate, and hearing his approach to the world. That shit might actually make me a better person. And just by conceptually understanding his point of view, it might improve my outcome. So I'm just trying to, it's so difficult when you internalize anything said about black women as an attack against you. And I think that this is a huge part of the problem on Clubhouse. Any criticism that really isn't, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But it becomes an attack on you. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so I want to validate what some of the things you've said about how you've been able to kind of exist inside of the Anthony sphere. You have been able to remove yourself, I guess, from some of the consequences of the nature of the things that we're talking about. And I'm not even saying that you're lying about that and that that's not possible for you. I think what I'm saying is I'm very close to my community, and these are the people that I serve on a daily basis. And so I am personally affected, and also I'm an empath, right? And so that comes with working in a nonprofit space. So I chose to take a $30,000, $40,000 pay cut so I can help the very people that we're discussing. So again, the original question that was presented to me, am I able to and this is of course my paraphrasing of how I'm understanding your question, can I remove my identity long enough, right, to erase kind of the empathetic emotions that come with these discussions? And I'm just being completely honest with you, brother, I cannot do that. What I did say is, if you want to have a conversation about responsibility that should fall and does fall on African American women, I am more than willing to have that discussion with you, brother. You know why? I have that discussion with my clients. When one of my clients is on her third baby, with her third baby daddy, you think I'm not having a conversation with her? But then What we're not talking about is how she was raped, how she didn't have a father in the home, how her mother was on drugs. See, we're not having that conversation. So my follow back to you is if we are going to have that discussion, does it stop with just black women, or is it the system and everything that caused it? And that's been some of my frustration, is that the buck always seems to stop at black women. I don't know who said it. Someone said I love black women, but I think they're the key to changing everything if they would just stop sleeping with men. It's not that simple. Because when are we gonna ask other men also gonna stop sleeping with the women? I know I'm getting far, so I'm gonna land the plane. The point is, when someone asks me about a nuanced conversation, I often find the nuances stop with black women's responsibility, and we don't go past that. I'm willing to talk about it. Are you willing to talk about everything?
So, Azia, and I think, we're actually making progress, right? So, Azia, I have empathy for the young lady you just described, right? But, I don't blame the system. If Johnny can't read, that's his parents' fault. If that poor young lady was brought up in an environment, she was birthed to a mother that didn't ensure her protection, I don't blame the system for that. So what ends up happening is, somebody has this horror story about foster kid. None of my family members, my niece, my nephew, none of them are going to end up in foster care because I'm not letting the system take care of them. They're my responsibility. I'm going to make sure they're good. I'm not going to blame the system. The system is it's the place of last resort. It's the if all else fails in emergency, break glass. That's what the system is, and I'm damn sure not gonna blame the system. I thank God that we have a social safety net, but God forbid that anybody in my family has to fall so low that they have to depend on the social safety net.
Can I just say that? Hold on. I just want to say this about safety nets. If you look at people that walk the high wire in a circus act, they have to walk a lot straighter if there's no safety net.
So, Roger, can you expand on that?
Yeah, I think that the provision of a safety net is part of the problem. It allows people to make more mistakes because the system will pick them up. And I don't think we should be fighting for a safety net. We should be giving people the tools to not need a safety net.
I agree with you. Everybody hold on.
May I jump in?
Yes, you may hold the mic. Is yours.
Okay, so I think this conversation is amazing, and I have a couple of things to say because I've been listening for a long time. First, I believe any community can get the business from any other community. And what I mean by that is I think any community can critique another community. I am a white man can't jump type girl. And the reason I'm saying that is because Billy Ho stepped in the court and he didn't give a fuck. Like, he was talking shit just like they was talking shit to him. And then the other thing I would like to say is that I hear what the young lady is talking about, and I'm just going to say this completely. I come from Appalachia. My mother had bipolar disorder. My father didn't raise me. I was raised with my grandmother. My uncle was a transsexual woman. Well, a man who was turning into a woman. They were murdered. My grandmother committed suicide. Like, I can list the atrocities in my life. I graduated from undergrad at older with 2 kids, didn't have no car, used to walk to get to school. I ended up graduating from NYU with my master's degree at 40 years old. Like, I come from the fucking bottom of the fucking barrel. And the one thing I have learned in my life is that when we work in spaces of nonprofits and working with other people that look like us or who don't look like us, we cannot have transference. Because when the moment we have transference, I'm sorry, none of my clients are me, no matter if they look like me or not. My clients are separate from me. And the problem is that for me, when I hear other people talk about this, is that we have to understand that class is a bigger issue than race. And it makes people very uncomfortable whenever we talk about this, because I can take you to a holler. I can take you to a holler in Appalachia, and let me tell you something, they get down just like the hood does, because I call myself hillbilly hood. So class is a huge issue, and the reason why it's not talked about enough, because it brings people more together than separates us, because they did the same thing within the coal mines and the coal mine wars, is they separated everybody by race and told every other race, hey, we like you more, no, we like you more, but they was fucking everybody. So I think that the race is used as a way to manipulate and to separate us than to bring us together. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. The problem, JB, that I'm hearing whenever people get upset with you is because a lot of people have this idea of benevolence. I think I'm saying the word correctly, with white folks who want to be too kind to black folks. So be like, oh, you just trying to be nice, when I don't even see it like that. And JB, I like you. I've been in your rooms. I don't come to Clubhouse like I used to, but and the other issue, I would say this, and then I'm going to shut up, is that all of us are more alike than we are separate. And always remember, it's a political agenda that they try to put on us to separate us. And thank you for letting me ramble.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you. Great share. All right, let's get a new speaker. Jamal, you there, Jamal?
I am. You know what I wanted to say what's happening? Oh, you want to go? Go. And then I'm still in the store. I'm in the store. Let him go.
No, I moved him down. He's been interrupting all night. He has this complex, Jamal, because he gets a green bean and politically correct. He can just derail my room.
Well, look. All I was going to say was to Anthony. Anthony has acquired some skills, and this is what I think puts you in a different frame of mind and thought when you do put some skills together, however you do them, whether they're real estate, whether they're medical, whether they're cosmetology, barbering, truck driving, whatever your skill set is, computer science. Once you start to put the skills together, you start to understand how to really maneuver around the country better and build and create things. But you got to put the package together for yourself. And a lot of people have the idea in their mind of what they see themselves, but they won't create themselves. And Anthony is one of those people who put some time in, and that's why it comes off almost arrogant. And I think it's unsympathetic too. That's the way it comes off. But you have to put the work in on yourself.
Jamal, let me ask you a question.
But that's the way it comes off.
Let me ask you a question, Jamal. Since you brought him up, and I said it to him earlier, I'm just going to ask you your opinion, because I heard you speak highly of Anthony, by the way.
I have a lot of respect for him.
As you should. He's a good guy. But do you think if he massaged his message, the message would get through?
Absolutely, because the reason why is because I know, like, some of the skills that he knows, I know, and so I know that stuff that if he was a little more, softer with it, people would really be able to learn from him, because he knows more about some of the techniques on real estate than I do, and I know a little bit, but he knows a lot more than me, and I know he can offer that to people, and people will respect him even more so.
Yeah, let me just give you my perspective. I think that the reason why Anthony's name gets brought up so much is because he doesn't pussyfoot around and use soft language. I think he says it exactly the way that he believes it. And that doesn't mean that I agree with everything that Anthony says. He and I have disagreed on quite a few things, but we also agree on a lot of things. I don't think he should soften it up. If anything, if this is what he truly believes, I think he should say it louder and even more direct.
Hold on, everybody hold on, please. Because one mic's been patiently waiting to jump in. One mic, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's happening?
You want to jump in?
Yeah, I'm always like slow to speak. I like to listen. That's how you gather wisdom. I would like to commend you on how you run your room. I think you handle it very professional and very fair. And also, I would like to commend Azia. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Azia.
It's Isaiah.
Oh, okay, Azia. Yeah, Azia. I would like to commend you. You know, my hat's off to you. You know, you speak with so much passion in your profession, and you know, some people may not see it the way you see it, but from my perspective and what I'm observing is you live what you talk about. And it's okay to talk about it when it is brought up, you know, because the way that I see and from what I was listening, no matter what you said, you still maintain your composure and the level of professionalism. So my hat's off to you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Listen, I said it before, and I'll shout her out again. Everybody needs to follow her. You don't have to agree with her, but at the end of the conversation, I guarantee you will respect her. I love this young lady. I'm glad that she came to. She started coming into my spaces. So before we go on, I want to welcome Tiffany to the stage, and then I want to go to Gildas. Tiffany, how you doing? Tiffany, are you there?
I'm here. I'm good, JB. How are you?
You're here, so I'm doing great. Do you want to chime in on the conversation?
I do. Thank you for having me. And so, I've been listening for a little while, and I've been commenting in the chat. But one thing that I did want to say is, Azia, I did not think that you were emotional in any type of way. Passionate, I mean, I guess always there's some level of emotion because we're human beings, but I didn't think it was elevated in any way. And I think from the exchange between you and Adams, what I really took away from it was that Adams is definitely entitled to his opinion, and it's a real an opinion that he has and many other people have. I think the issue sometimes is that I don't know what Adams does for a living, but Adams could very well be a person that's in a position to influence policy and process and law. And if that is the case, then some of those beliefs have to be questioned in these types of spaces because they do unfortunately become a part of the system.
Wait, hold on a second. What belief? First of all, I think a lot of you missed what happened here. Adams was counterpunching at somebody that was talking shit to him in the chat. He fired back, and then everybody decided to take exception to what Adams had to say. I think if everybody went back and replayed the entire tape and understood exactly what happened, they wouldn't be saying half the shit they're saying.
I agree totally.
Well, even with you all agreeing, I mean, I still think that the generalization that I heard from him was a generalization. It wasn't, and I mean, I don't remember him putting out any necessarily facts to support it. And so from where I came and where I joined, and that's what this is, you come in where you come in and you hear what you hear. And so my response remains the same, that he or anybody else on here could be somebody that influences policy, process, laws, or any of the like. And so sometimes some of those generalizations, when they're made, even in some type of short text, could be problematic or could be some showing of an ideology that just needs to be questioned. That's the whole thing that you guys are talking about here. And the young lady that was from Appalachia, I agree with her. A lot of times it is much more about class, but we get so distracted with race. And so from that perspective, I do kind of agree with Anthony, but at the same time, I'm conflicted about my agreement with Anthony, because here I am, a person that's very much benefited from these upper middle class societies and groups, Jack and Jill's and whatnot. So that's all I had to say, and I'll land my plane.
Thank you very much. Gildas, how you doing, Gildas?
Hey, I'm doing all right.
Hey, before Gildas goes, can I just jump in real quick and just say that from her lips to God's ears, I hope that Adams gets to influence policy. I've heard him enough on this app that even when he does troll, If you can get past the trolling and you can have an honest conversation with him, I think he's precisely the type of person that I would want influencing politics.
Thank you, Roger. So that means you're moving to the Republican Party. Gildas, how you doing?
Oh, that is not what I said.
Sorry, Gildas, I was trying to gaslight Roger.
Oh, no problem. You know, I didn't get to hear the exchange, so I'm going to let things move past me for now, and I'll get in later.
Thank you, Gildas. Appreciate you. Let's go to J-Lo. J-Lo, how you doing? J-Lo, are you there?
I'm here. How's it going?
It's going great. Do you want to chime in on the conversation, or you just want to hang out with the cool kids?
No, I just, earlier you were talking about, I think Anthony was saying that, I came in at the end, but he was saying something like, you know, his family would be there to support, you know, the kids and not to blame society for the way that kids are raised. Did I get that right, Anthony?
I'm sort of paraphrasing. It's fine, though, but no, I'm curious to know what your overarching point is.
So my point is that, you know, when it comes to the foster system, I have seen things go both ways, and a lot of times it's not the child's fault, and the kid will get put into a shitty foster home. And there's good foster homes too, but it's not their fault that they were birthed into whoever gave birth to them and then couldn't take care of them, be it drugs or you know, homelessness or whatever reason they're being taken care of. So I do sometimes blame society in terms of the foster care system, how it's handled in certain states. And that's it, anyway.
Thank you, J-Lo. Let's go to JR. JR, are you there? Jay? No Jay. All right, let me welcome Miss Lopez Aguirre. Miss Lopez, how you doing?
Hi. I'm just, you know.
Don, your last name is Lopez?
Yeah.
You're Mexican?
I am. My mother's white. My father is black and Mexican.
No, all right. Hence the Lopez kitchen.
Yeah. So I think but my husband is a Mexican national, born in Mexico. Anyway, but yes, we are Mexican as well. Anyway.
Deport.
Deport.
Te amo, mi tía.
Te amo. So listen, guys, I think that I really appreciate Azia. I think you're very well spoken. This is the first time I've ever meeting you or listening to you speak at all or seeing your name. So I really liked hearing the back. I think we were getting somewhere when you were talking with, who was it? It was Anthony. I think it was Anthony and then Roger, right? It was Azia, Anthony, then Roger. I think we were getting into the crux of what's going on in the system. And I think people need to not just be so focused on race when it's not a racial problem. It's a problem in all people, in all colors of people, right? So if we took race out of it, I think we'd be in a better place.
Thank you,
That's
Dawn.
it, but yeah.
Thank you, Dawn. JR, you said you're back, JR?
Yeah, I'm back.
Jay, what are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. Did you want to chime in on the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, when I originally wanted to come up here, it was sort of like the conversation when it was like, I don't know, a few minutes ago, so we're past it. But I did want to know, like, where did the title of this room come from? Did something happen, or like, what? Can we get a quick reset, or
Sure.
is that possible?
So I ran a room. I'm going to try to be concise. I ran a room earlier today. I like to run racial relations rooms because I get to get a peek into a community I'm not part of, a community that I've befriended, people, I have many friends that are in that community. And then another house opened up a room. Mind you, most of those people were in this room on my stage, trying to scratch my back because I won't say hand jobs. Opened up a room and start calling me a racist, a sex trafficker, all this other thing. So I took some time away. I stepped away for a few hours. I reached out to Mojo and said, I'm going to run this room. And I needed to get some things off my chest. Because, Jay, if you got something to say, step to me and say it. Be an adult. You know? But I'm past that already now because this has been a great conversation we're having. See how that works? I'm such a horrible moderator, but look how this conversation's been flowing for the last 2 hours. So, Jay, my biggest issue on this app is not the racists, because they're here. Not the anti-Semites, they're definitely here. It's the people that talk out of both sides of their face. They'll come in here, they'll say kumbaya, and then they'll go in another room and call me a sex trafficker. That's the issue I have. But we've moved past all that. We've been having some great conversations.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to Clubhouse. That's what people do. They act like they don't have replays and people don't have ears. So, but, I mean, okay, but yeah, you've always been very nice to me when I've come into a room and to everybody. You let everybody speak, so, I don't know, those people sound ignorant.
Well, like I said, we moved past it. Jay, I don't know if you know Azia. I'm messing up her name. But definitely follow this young woman. She's the type of person, I know Roger's going to get mad, Bojo's going to get mad I say this, but for me, she's the type of person that ties things together. She brings people together.
Shoot your shot. I ain't gonna get mad.
Nah, I ain't shooting no shot. I got no shot, to be honest with you. But listen, I like to also send flowers when they're deserved. I don't agree with everything she says, but like I said, when she's finished speaking, you don't leave with respect. I also said Jamal. Me and Jamal probably don't agree on anything, bro. But Jamal went into that other room. He's like, yo, it wasn't even that type of party. And of course, they shouted him down because he wasn't running with the narrative. I don't know. I don't know. What is a cracker in the corner allowed to talk about black issues, black situations? Jamal, tell me, am I allowed to have that conversation?
You're actually not. I think I've been. Roger has changed his name to Mojo. Now I see Roger a lot. I never really correlated both of you guys together. Sometimes I come in. A lot of times it's just you by yourself. I don't know you guys that well, but I have had some debates. I have been thrown out of here, but I get thrown out of almost every room on Clubhouse, so that doesn't bother me. But I do enjoy the conversations that you guys. Yeah, or some other, for just being who I am. But no, I enjoy the conversations in here. I like your moderating style, the way that you kind of hold court a little better than some, and I like that. When I come in here, it's always a intellectual conversation. Anthony's adds some flavor to the room, and I like Anthony, so I like to come in here. Support you guys, especially when you're talking about political stuff. It's always a good conversation. You guys have been kind of drifting into the racial stuff a little bit. I don't know where your head is with that.
Jamal, let me say this, and you're not taking me up, bro. Let's have the conversation. Anthony comes from a certain segment of society, right? That people believe what he's saying, right? He believes what he's saying. So for me, it's very important to have somebody on the opposite end of somebody like CO, who doesn't have any ideology comparison with Anthony.
And Mass records people when they agree, when they disagree with him.
All right, dude, Adams, come on, bro. Stop crying, man. You bring smoke to yourself and then you want to cry about it, please. But Jamal, let me say this, man. I enjoy my spaces. I enjoy the people. The people I mod, there's a reason. Like, you see this young lady above you, 9? Probably one of the best moderators on this app. You know what makes her the best? She knows when to talk. She knows when to stand down. She's fair. But listen, let me tell you something. It's one thing about my room that you can't say about politically correct, and yeah, I'm going to say it. That place has become an echo chamber And if you're not a mod in there, you don't get no respect. And that's how I feel.
But that's most of the rooms. It's only a few places that you probably, and I don't even need to shout those out. Everybody knows there's some rooms that flow better than others. But this is a good room. The conversation's always good, and you get to get a white perspective. I like a white perspective. I just like I like Fox News. I like to hear what white people think, though. You know what I mean? Because we talk a lot amongst each other, but it's good to hear. You know, and so my thing, JB, is don't fool yourself, because I've been noticing you guys have been kind of withdrawn and letting the brothers and sisters just speak. But I like to hear your perspective. I'll land right there.
My
That's
perspective.
just crazy to say a white perspective. Like, why can't it just be an individual who thinks different than you perspective? Like, why do you gotta be
It's a white perspective. And Roger too. Roger talks a bunch of shit. Roger's got his new cartoon face up now. I don't know if this is a different personality, but Roger be talking shit. You know, and I like to hear it.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't know who Roger is.
That's Mojo. That's Mojo. But Jamal, let me ask you a question. And I'm not doxing him because he says it a million times. You as a black man in America, does it bother you? Or does it trigger you in any way when Roger says, hey, you know what? I have been with more black women than any black man on this app. Does that bother you?
What Roger does with Roger's dick is Roger's problem. I've been with more black women. I've been with more black women than.
Why is it a problem if it goes in? Why is it a problem if it goes in black pussy? Don't be a racist.
Hey! Like I said, hey, I don't have anything to say about that. That's your thing. If they're letting you fuck, it's on them. That's their problem. But as far as I'm concerned, Roger likes to talk shit. JB, you like to hold it down. And you got a girl. I forget the girl's name, but she holds it down too. I don't know. She hasn't been in here in a while. Amy or April?
No.
What is it? Something.
That would be Nai. She's right underneath Akima. She's next to CO.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. White girl. Yeah. There's all right. It's not Holly, right?
No, not Holly.
Jamal just said all white girls look alike.
Yeah, there's one that's loud. There's one that's loud.
Just really quick, man.
Good stuff. I'm done.
Your guy.
CO, you saying something?
Hey, JB, your guy Adams is in the chat again, going through his.
Yeah, keep crying, Medea. Keep crying, Medea.
I'm a coward. I'm a Medea. Blah blah blah. Look,
if it don't fly, if it don't apply, let it fly.
Wait a second, Adams. Stop it. CO, what's a Medea? I have no idea what that is.
I think he's talking about Tyler Perry. He's just using his normal space, just like he calling people black bitches and hoes and all that kind of stuff, right? What I'm trying to tell you, Adams, look, dude. I know you're emotional, whatever. Look, you called the lady a black bitch several times. She came on and said she didn't appreciate it. She thought it was disrespectful.
Right. You know what? I was wrong. I should have called you the black bitch coward. Right. I should have called you the black bitch coward. Right? Because you're shaking your finger and rolling your neck under them hoop earrings, okay, and that dirty ass freaking camel print.
Adams. See, this is the thing. You come off your mic and you say these things. Now, I'm not saying what he's saying is right, but he's being respectful. When you get this account clipped, you're going to be like, well, it's not my fault. What do you want? I was just punching back.
Oh, no, it's okay. You know, I signed up for Starlink, so it is what it is. It is what it is.
But hold on 1 second. How, JB, what did I say that was disrespectful? I just literally said what this guy said, and my point is, if you call somebody...
Bro, I literally text
you. Shut up, dude. Why don't you shut up and let me finish? If you're in the chat calling somebody a black bitch several times,
who cares?
Woman comes on. JB runs a respectable room. He left the room.
You got caught.
Listen. If you come in a space and you calling a woman a black bitch several times and she's complaining and she says this is a good time for black men to stand up, I'm not the one to stand by. I didn't report you. I asked somebody else if they, cause I don't even know how to.
Bro, there is a recording of you calling for my mask. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Ping Edmund into the room, please. Ping Edmund into the room. You want to do this, CEO? You want to hear a recording of you saying the shit that you claim to not say? Do you want to bring this shit up in here? CEO, do you want to bring this shit up?
Hold on. 3 hours. Hold on.
You're a fucking liar.
Everyone hold on. Everyone mute up. Everyone mute up for a second. Everyone mute up for a second.
Sorry, Mojo, that was me by accident. Go ahead, Mojo. Roger, we can't hear you. You have to unmute, Raj. Alright, everybody take a breath until Roger comes back. Roger, are you there? Hello? Alright. Man, this shit got spicy fast. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go.
Yes,
We can hear you. It's glitchy as fuck, but let me just say this. Nobody needs to ping Edmund. Nobody needs to summons him in any way. Rest assured, he is here. He is always here, and it'll be streaming on YouTube. Now, if somebody wants to get him to play the audio, then go ask him to do that. But he's definitely here. Shout out to John Kitover for Congress, U.S. Congress. I might actually support his campaign.
He doesn't live in the district.
Yeah, John, can you rise to the stage?
That's okay. That's okay. I'll tell you what. I would go and knock doors for him.
That's what I love about you.
Rod, you're not coming.
It says he's not on live right now.
On that account.
So, hey, JB, you kick people out of the room. You kick people all out of the room all day, every day for people that you don't like, people who disrespect you, people come off the mic. Why do you think Adams has such a problem with me? He seems to be a respecter of person. He only punches down on black women and men that he doesn't understand who they are. They might be darker than him, but he won't say shit to you, and you do anything you want to in the room. Why do you think that is? Do you think he cowards to power? Because he's always running his mouth and talking down to the people who he thinks he can get it away with it. But he doesn't like me being, he doesn't like me being as a mod. He keeps complaining that I put Sig down. You know what I'm saying? Me and Sig are good. Sig ain't said shit since then, and me and Sig have been cool. But he's constantly complaining. Hey, JB, what's your policy if Adams is in the thing calling a woman a black bitch? She comes on complaining the straw. What is the policy there? Is it cool for a guy like Adams to call people black bitches and hoes and baboons and raccoons?
Got it. I see that somebody, consulted with Michelle Obama's, publicity.
Hold on a second, because he was talking to me. So here's the deal, CO. And let me unpack it before anybody interrupts. Adams and I know each other for a few years. I've seen different sides of him, let's say. But I'll say this. I don't agree with the rhetoric he says. You heard me say what I said to him tonight, bro. You shouldn't be saying these things. And then when you get punched back, you start crying, you pull my pigtails. I don't agree with it. If I catch it in the chat, either I remove it, or I'll text him offline and I'll be like, hey man, you need to dial that down. Because what it does is it develops my conversation. Now, the way I run my rooms is differently than Mojo. He's all about freedom of speech. So my thing is, if I see it, I address it. If I don't see it, and the truth is, for me, CEO, most times, I don't even pay attention to the chat when I'm running the room.
Can I ask CEO a question? And I do mean this respectfully, okay? Earlier I saw someone say something about white bitches, right? People just let you go like, whatever. So, what I'm I'm trying to say is, do you hold the same energy? Like if someone were saying, "Oh, you white bitch."
Absolutely, yes. We'll move on to the next question.
Okay. So I just want to. I don't know. I hear people getting so irate over these things. Not irate, but giving it so much energy, right? And I don't think that it's necessary, you know?
Yeah, but with all due respect, let me push back.
I think people can be more mindful. Sorry?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sir.
I understand. What's your name, Mrs.?
My name's Dawn Lopez, yeah.
Okay, hey, Don, let me just give you an example, right? And I hate to use this as a litmus test, but I tell people all the time, I like how the Jewish community handles some aspect of their reality with their brand and their culture, right? We're in a season where with what's going on with war, the anti-Semitism is rising on a lot of campuses. A lot of friends of mine that are Jewish are real serious about making sure that people don't disparage their culture and to tap down on anti-Semitism, right? So that you wouldn't go to a Jewish person and say, you need to get over it and just let the people say what they want to say. Let's have freedom of speech. Nobody would do that, right? Because why? Because when you say demeaning things about a culture, it creates an image for people that they can disrespect that culture. Now, I'm not imitating the Jews. I revere their culture and for what they do. I'm just saying, when it comes to my people, I have a set of I have a process. I listen to people. I like this free speech. But if you come into a space where JB is giving me the space to run the room, and a black woman comes on stage and says, you're calling me a black bitch, and everybody's sitting around here caping for Dr. Adams like that's cool, and like I'm the bad guy, because I said, look, if you guys want to report it, and I literally brought something up. I said, tell everybody how to do it.
Oh, so you're admitting it. So you're admitting to violating Clubhouse terms and conditions.
Holy shit, shut the fuck up.
I don't even know that that's a Clubhouse policy. So if it's a Clubhouse policy, if some jackass is calling a chick a black bitch, and I tell people, then go ahead and use the rules and report it. If that's the policy, then I'm gonna stand it on all day. And if that's a problem in any room, I won't come to that fucking room.
Theo, I have a question for you. Theo, I have a question for you.
Hold on a second.
Well, I have a question. I have a question. It's a quick question. It's a quick question. So, is it the use of black and bitch together? If he had just called her a bitch, would that have been better? If he just would have called her black, would that have been better? Like what was the term that actually offended you?
Wow. So let me. Is that you, Mojo?
Yeah, that was me. I'm just curious, like, because again, I think what people are missing in this was that Adams was responding to somebody that was coming for him.
Were you in the room, Mojo?
It's on recording. Be very careful. I just re-listened to it a minute ago. That's why I'm asking. So for those of you that don't have it, let me back channel me and I'll send you a copy of it. If my phone was better, I'd play it for you guys. But I guess my question is.
I want to know that though. Where is it being recorded? Just because
it was streamed onto YouTube, and so. I can get you a copy of it, but I'm just kind of curious.
Another level of bullshit. But,
yeah. Well, no, I don't like it either. I like for years on here, I didn't want the replays on. I didn't want people to record things. I wanted people to speak freely, and I would boot people out that I knew did that. Now Clubhouse has created a feature that allowed people to do that. So now now that Clubhouse has done that, there's nothing we can do for people that are going to stream it. And in some cases, it actually turns out to be a positive thing. Because some of the things that get streamed are people that are making death threats, and so this becomes interesting. Whereas, like Edmund, is somebody that I typically would say, "Hey, look, you're violating people's consent to be recorded." But now he's figured out a way to take these things and I guess get the truth out of what's happening. This is actually a really minor incursion, this thing that's happening with Adams and everybody. But there's some people out here that are genuinely supportive of terrorist groups, and that stuff's getting recorded. And because of that, I'm like, as much as I dislike Edmund's, disregard for consent, the fact that some good is coming out of it, now all I have to say is welcome to the room, Edmund. But CO, my question again to you was this: what, in the full context of Adams being in an argument going back and forth, why are we isolating for Adams, content and not for what was said to Adam?
And Roger, mind you, I was in the chat. I wasn't even on stage. I was in the chat. Okay, I was actually helping a family. I was actually helping a family doing my job, and in passive conversations, because I had a very slow, day today, because I had a very, lucrative sales week, okay? I elected to come on Clubhouse, which again, most of you guys know, over the last year or so, I've not necessarily been present on this app, holding rooms, engaging in rooms outside of my lunch break. How big of you, CEO? How big of you? How big of you? So again, you took a comment that was written in the fucking chat, and you actually asked people to mass report me, to remove me off this fucking app, despite all the good that I've done on this app. Like, you're weak, all because you lost a fucking argument.
So hold on a second, though. I don't understand your level of delusion really quick, right?
I don't understand your level of stuttering. Keep stuttering towards a point where you're actually making fucking sense.
She didn't interrupt you. Show him the same respect, please. Get CO.
If you would shut your fucking weak ass up and be respectful, so listen. So I only got a few more times to sit on this app, and you hurl pejoratives at me. I think you really think that I'm somebody different than I am because of the way you hear me talk. So please, I'm gonna implore you to tone it the fuck down in terms of how you talk to me in this fucking app. You need to, and I'm not fucking playing. It's not a game. You're not about to sit on this fucking app and talk to me any kind of fucking way. Let's just start there. Because I just fucking care. And what I'm telling you is, I didn't see the chat. You keep fucking whining about the chat. I did not see the chat. A woman came on the mic and she said the guy is harassing me, calling me a black bitch, and she said it was you. All I know is that you're always calling women black bitches and hoes and gorillas and fatbacks and baby mamas and all of the stereotypes. And I never like it any time you say it. So it's not necessarily the one black bitch. I listen to Snoop Dogg. Who's short? It's that you consistently degrade black women and my culture on a regular freaking basis. You are the worst offender that I hear in this app. So when she said it was you, I don't know anything about mass reporting. I've never done a mass reporting. I've never even reported anybody on any app in forever. She said, would you black men do something about it? So I want you to take that up with Courtney. Because at the end of the day, you owe her an apology for the way that you discussed and talked about her and to her. And different than Mojo's recollection of it, because I don't know if he has a record, Adams wasn't responding to her. That lady was gentle. She was kind. She said good words. I don't see her just randomly attacking Adams, who has a history consistently of attacking people in all of these rooms. So my point is, bruh, you gotta watch how you talk to people, man. This is an app. This shit is fun and games. But you gotta watch how you fucking run your mouth to people. You're gonna talk to the wrong motherfucker one of these days.
And what the fuck are you gonna do about it? No, hold on. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Hold on a second. Dawn, I don't even know why you get involved in this conversation.
I need to correct something.
Okay, you can do it from the VIP section, because this is between Adams and CO. Adams, you got a minute, go ahead.
Right. So again, let me ask you this question. What the fuck are you gonna do about you nappy head, bald ass fucking monkey running rooms on this fucking app in the middle of a workday? What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
JB, if you
What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, CO? No, talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me, you bitch ass punk.
Hold on a second, CO.
Yeah, exactly, because you're too pussy to talk.
Hold on a second. Everybody go up, please. I got this. CO, let me tell you something, man to man. I already addressed Adams on what he says. I can't stop him from it. I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. But the truth is this. You basically threatened this man, right? So I have to give him a chance to get off what is on his chest. Because you know what happens? If I don't, he's just going to keep going the way he's going. But you threatened him, so he has to get a chance to push back, my friend. It's only right. Adams?
Hey, JB, I'm going to hold you accountable. Because you just went off for an hour about how people disrespected you in another room. And you asked your friends to stand up for you. So you're going to sit here, JB, after I've been rocking for you, taking up for you. And I did what I did because of how this dude talks to people on a regular basis. So you're talking about hosting a black space. You hear what the woman said he did. You hear what he just said to me. What does he use? He uses stereotypical black nappy head, boom, boom, boom. The same shit he does all the time, JB. And now, where we stood up for you because you didn't like how they put you out there in the other room, JB. But now this dude comes on with this racist bullshit that I gotta hear in every one of these fucking clubhouse rooms and bite my tongue because I don't like the shit. And you're gonna tell me, yeah, well, CO, you told him that was bad, so.
No, that's not what I said, bro. That's not what I said.
Tell me what you're saying, JB.
What I'm saying is you
threatened between me and you because you're my guy.
Okay, well, if I'm your guy, you gotta hear me. You threatened him. Okay? So because you threatened him, I have to, just for decorum's sake, let him get 30 seconds off. Now, I've addressed him and what he says to people and how he speaks to them. Now, and let me just throw this in there also, by the way. Before I knew you, a couple of years ago, when those barbarians were banging on my gate, because it's not something that happened today, it's been happening since I've been on this app. You know who the first person standing up for me was? Was Adams. But I still disagree with his language and how he uses it towards people. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, pink, polka dots. I disagree with it. But when you threaten him, I can't sit back and say, well, okay, hold on a second. See, this puts me in a bad position because you're both my friends. You're both wrong, by the way, and I'll say that. I think you guys should take it to a private chat and have a one-on-one conversation. Civilly like men. No threats, no disparaging racial shit at him. Just work it out. Hold on a second. Sorry, I got a puppy that's a little precocious. But anyway, CO, before you guys started this, Rohan came into the room and I'm glad he did, because I hear Roger in the back channel say, bro, I'm out of here in 5 minutes. Because I've been doing this since 8 o'clock this morning. I'm tired. You're both my friends. I respect both of you. I really do. I tell Adams all the time, I hit him offline, bro, dial down the rhetoric, man. Not in my spaces. And for the most part, he does. When he's in my spaces, he mostly behaves. Whatever he said, it was after I left. But as soon as I heard it, I came back into the room. So you guys gotta cut me a little slack that I gotta walk between the raindrops with both of you. But let me say hello to Rohan real quick. Rohan, how you doing?
Wow. Temperature's gone up, man. Doing alright. I could ask what's going on here, but I've got a pretty good idea. And look, my preference to be able to deal with this would just try for two people to be able to have a simple conversation without any sort of threats, without any ad hominem attacks, talk to your points, if you've got grievances. Alright, let's do that. But just keep the racist bullshit out of it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. It doesn't belong in here. Never has.
Well, I'll say this before I go. CO is pro-black. I support him. He's my friend. I like him. I respect him. Adams is pro-black in his own way. It may not seem that way. I don't agree with anything he says when he's using these nasty terms. Silverback and all this other nonsense that he spews. But I can't control what people are going to say. Right? Adams, when he comes into my space and he raises his hand, he'll tell you, CO, when he raises his hand to come up on stage, I send him a text offline. Adams, no screaming, no cursing. Please respect my space. Because I know how Adams talks. I'm not dumb. But I give him the courtesy before he comes up to ask me to respect my space. That's the best I can do, CO. And let me just say this one last thing, guys. When I leave a room, I have a real life. I can't keep coming back in and getting involved. I mod people I trust and I like. If you don't like them, there's the leave quietly button. Thank you, guys. Roger, Mojo, Rohan, back to you guys.
I'm gonna kick this Roger asshole out of the room.
As you should.
Yeah, we'll do that one.
Alright, well, let's go to Bubblegum, because I don't know, I guess he was saying some things in the chat. Bubblegum, whoever you are.
Oh, here we go.
Bubblegum?
Not too much on bubblegum.
Dawn, I want to ask you not to keep interjecting. Thank you. Bubblegum, did you want to speak? If you're speaking, I can't hear you. I don't even know if you're a dude or a lady. You may have to leave the room and come back. Now let's welcome Cam to the stage. Cam, how you doing?
Cam, what's up?
You came to the stage. Did you want to say something?
Just mostly listening. It sounds that stuff from the last room just came over to this room, but I was in the last room, but I guess I left the app and came back, and it looks like stuff from the previous room involving Adams and CO is continuing, so I'm just listening.
Thank you, Cam. Dr. Flo, good to see you, Dr. Flo.
Good to see you too, JB. I just came up to back CO. I think that when any woman, especially black women, are being attacked, it is our responsibility to protect them. So I see you, CO, and you have my utter respect. Dr. Adams can suck a dick.
I don't even know how to follow it up anymore.
Sounds like somebody's offering to,
This is crazy.
Hold on.
Shit. Wait, Jay, don't let me respond. Don't let me respond.
Okay, don't respond. Herman, you came to the stage, you have something to say? Herman? Herman with no followers, Herman Rome? Okay. Alright guys, I guess we'll go popcorn style.
Jump in. What's up, everybody? I was just thinking,
Holly, I'm so sorry I didn't call on you. I love you, Holly. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's alright. I've just been listening. Yeah, obviously I'm not black, so I can't speak for what would I feel like if I was a black woman. I can't say that. But as a white woman, it's hard for me to understand, this feeling of needing to get upset and defend a group of no-name individuals. If Adams or if JB, JB's a friend, if JB every day on this app was criticizing and degrading and calling out the Karens of the world, or the meth heads in the Appalachians, or blonde girls from Florida who are whores or cokeheads, I don't know, pick your poison, I wouldn't care. I would still like them. I honestly would not affect me one bit.
Holly,
I would just take it and put it up to the side. Yeah.
Holly, I call you a Karen every day and you left.
Right, and I don't like Karen. I don't feel like I'm a Karen, but I still love you. I don't know. I don't feel the same. If my cousin, I have family members who got abortions. Okay, if people on here, and even if people on here fuck people who got abortions, they're evil. I'm not gonna be fuck you, my sister got an abortion. I don't get that, man. Fucking let people be. Just let them talk their shit. Move on.
Thank you, Holly. I'm going to move on to Herman. Herman, who said in the chat, where is it? Because white women have been systematically oppressed by being white women. Herman, how you doing? Herman? Okay, he just wants to stay square. Let's send him down. You can hear better from the VIP section. The acoustics are better down there. I'm going to hand it over to Mojo and Rohan. Goodbye, guys.
May I say something if that's okay?
You just did, but you can say something if you'd like.
Goodbye, JB. Good.
Yes, good job, JB. This is the thing that I find very perplexing. Is any community can get the business. I don't give a shit what community you're a part of. If you doing fuck shit, you should be allowed to get the business. That's what I don't understand. No one is above the fucking fuck shit to have somebody critique you. I don't give a damn what community you're a part of. And I think that's the problem is like, we can talk about anybody we want. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it because, like, I talk about everybody, but that's how I was raised. Like,
but tall lady, hold on one second. I agree with you, but I just want to make this clarification though. If people want to talk shit and it's mutual, or even if people want to fight each other and it's mutual, I'm okay with that. Like, if it's mutual. The problem is that oftentimes on these apps, you have one person that wants to talk shit, and the other person really doesn't want to engage that way. You'll have somebody that prefers to not engage that way, and then there becomes this unilateral attack. The reason why I think this exchange has been so interesting is because you have people that are willing to go at it, and then both sides like want the moderation. It's like, man, if you guys want to talk shit, you can't then like, it's like like deciding to box but then asking the ref for help, and so I would just say that, if you came here to talk shit, then talk your shit, and if you didn't come here to talk the shit, then don't do it. And this is what you'll get from me as a moderator, is if somebody's talking shit to somebody that doesn't play that game and doesn't want to engage, I will tell the person talking shit to that person to chill the fuck out. I like for people to consensually talk shit to each other, and if you're just gonna bully somebody, I'm not into bullies, so I'll slap that shit.
no, I agree with you. I don't believe in bullying, but what I mean by that is that if you want to claim that a community is being attacked, but you talk shit about another community, anybody is up to get shot down. That's how I feel. And it doesn't matter your race, gender, your age, or whatever. If you're coming with the heat, I'm coming with the motherfucking rifle. So but then I don't believe in bullying, but I think that's not what's happening. I don't think anybody is bullying anybody.
Well, I think there's definitely some escalations that have taken place. Like, I think that there's a big difference between people talking their shit on Clubhouse and then people, we heard Bubblegum and we heard CO make violent threats against Adams, and then we're supposed to go back to whatever Adams said that was offensive, quote unquote, and then treat that as if that's the biggest crime that's been committed. And to be quite honest, I think that that's an escalation when you start threatening people with violence. Hold on. There is no reason why somebody should be speaking while I'm speaking. I'll be very, very quick with this. If people really want to fight over the shit that they say on Clubhouse, you should back channel that person and you should say, hey, I've got a problem with you. Why don't we, and here's how you can do it legally and you don't have to ever worry about going to jail. Just call a local MMA gym and just say, hey, we'll pay you. We're just going to go in, we're going to go in your dojo, whatever rules there are, and you can go in there and you can fuck each other up, and then you can walk away. You might even have a beer afterwards. But I don't think that the people that make these threats really want real world violence. I think they like to escalate that in a way to try to silence the other side, and I don't think that's cool. I think if you if you don't want to engage with somebody, then don't engage with them. But when you start escalating it with threats of violence, not only are you violating terms of service, you're also violating the law. I don't advise it.
No, I agree with you, and that's not really what I'm talking about. Please know that.
Something. What was the actual threat?
There was a couple of them. Bubblegum put it in the chat, it's still there if you can scroll up, that said, when I see Adams, I'm going to beat his ass, right? So that's a threat. And then there was a verbal threat made by CO, which, by the way, I want to put this out there. Even though CO and I disagree on a lot of things, I think oftentimes CO is very respectful in conversation. I don't know why him and Adams are having this level of escalation. I get that Adams sometimes can be trollish, sometimes Adams can be very, inflammatory. But what I will say is I've never seen Adams dish it to somebody that just out of the blue. I've known Adams on this app now for at least 4 years, and in this this isn't me co-signing on any of the shit that he says, because some of the shit he says he's on his own with. What I will say is that I've never seen him attack somebody that wasn't engaging already with him. That's all.
CO made it clear that this shit would not fly in real life. If we were in the grocery store and Adams talked that way, it would not fly in real life. To your point, it would happen MMA style in real life.
Well,
and so
you know,
the boundaries were drawn, and you have mighty thumbs.
Who cares?
I care.
Okay.
I care. Thank you.
Got it.
You're
welcome. Got it. Yeah, no, I also care about, your familia who's going to be deported. So, aside from that, listen, I'm not scared.
You make no fucking
this,
sense.
This
You make no
little
fucking sense.
5'2" Ricky Martin wannabe, okay? And I'm definitely not scared of somebody to the likes of CEO. Because at the end of the day, listen, the thug always comes out.
No, you make no fucking sense.
Oh my god, like a yapping chihuahua. Like, this is crazy.
You got it down.
Okay, great.
And inflammatory.
Yes, yo quiero Taco Bell. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
No green card, no stay.
You're
Great.
welcome.
Great.
You're welcome. No substance.
Great. Could you imagine if you were asking for your welcome after your family actually got citizenship in the United States? Could you imagine that? We'd be having a different conversation, right?
Irrelevant.
We'd be having a different conversation.
How is that relevant?
Listen, it's relevant because I offered to buy you a canoe to help you pack your family stuff and swim back. So again, listen, let it go.
You have no connection.
Let it go. Connection to the truth. I have an American Express card. So again, I offered to buy you a canoe. So that you and your family can roll back. So again, why do you have smoke for me? I don't think that anybody on this app offered you a like-kind blessing. Like, what are we doing?
I don't even know what that means.
What are we doing?
Does anybody know what that means? Does anybody on the stage know what the fuck he's talking about? Anyone?
I didn't know what you were talking about either.
Yeah, let's move on. I'm confused too.
Once again, this is Clubhouse High School, right? So what CO is making clear is that the way in which you all behave on this app is not indicative of the way that you would behave in real life. And we know this to be true.
Are you kidding me? How do you know this to be true?
Because you keep coming back and you haven't been handled in the streets.
I'm pretty sure that there's several people who have heard me on hot mic and have heard me engage with people on the street.
Dr. Flo, so the way you're acting right now is not how you act in real life?
I hear it every day.
Hello? Is this not real life?
Right now,
Danny, once again, to CO's point, because I can track. To CO's point, if Adams was disrespectful towards black women in the ways he is in this room, he would be handled.
By who?
Probably stop, but we're not going to sit here and act like CO is
No, hold on. By who?
But Dr. Adams, I'm trying to help you. Like, CO initiated it. He brought up Dr. Adams' comment, and nobody was even speaking about that. So again, back to Mojo's point, it's like you can't want a conversation. You can't start something, and then when someone matches your energy, start to get mad. Like, it doesn't make any sense. No one wants to acknowledge, like, CO brought up his comments, and nobody was even speaking about that. And he said some hurtful, messed up things to Dr. Adams, and so Dr. Adams
This was a grievance because it's my understanding that a black woman was disrespected, and CO defended her.
So what? She also called my mother a whore and a whole other slew of comments.
Right,
so again, at the end of the day, as a black person, okay, I'm gonna stand with my fucking parents, okay, opposed to any of you fucking people on this app, okay? That is just a fact. So the fact that there should be a different, set of rules how I should engage with black people as far as people hurling slurs against me, slurs against my family, slurs against my ethnic heritage, okay? Fuck you all the way 2 days to Sunday.
And I'll speak to that too, because I was actually in the room because the girl in question that CO wants to put on his cape and save. I asked her directly multiple times because she said, he called me this. So I actually asked her, I said, but didn't you throw the first punch? And she lied and said she didn't, and I was in the room. I looked at the chat, and
if you want to ping Lizzo as a chia pet, okay, exactly what the fuck I called her, okay, Lizzo as a damn chia pet, up into the room, then have her touch her ankles, not come out of breath, and then tell me I was wrong.
And it is true, because I did read those comments. She did call your mom a chimp. She called your mother a monkey. She made a lot of accusatory and inflammatory comments about your mother.
Why is that okay? That's horrible.
It's not okay, but some people have selective outrage.
Say whatever you want.
None of it's okay.
It's not okay, but some people have selective outrage. Don't.
If you call my mama a chimp, I get to say whatever I want.
This is why I asked Seal that question. I saw someone earlier say something about white bitches. I said, would you hold the same energy? He said, absolutely, I absolutely would. But I'm not saying don't say anything when someone says derogatory things, right? What I'm saying is you're gonna get the same energy that you give, right? So choose your battles. Yeah.
He gave it, and maybe he ended up. Hey, Adam.
No, hang on for a second. Sorry. Nye, you there? That's right. Nye, you there? Nye McGee, you there? No, she's not.
You can't be talking about my mama, man.
Oh Lord, but can we move on? But all these people we were talking about, except Dr. Adams, is not in the room, so.
Hey, I'm down to move on, but it is funny.
What do we think about the Tyler Perry sexual lawsuit?
What happened?
Lies.
He's being sued for $250 some odd million by a guy.
Hey guys, I'm really sorry to interrupt in the middle of this. Just bear with me for a second. CEO, are you there?
I am.
CEO, welcome back.
I am, my man. What's happening, bro?
Well, I missed out on a lot of what's going on here. I literally just walked in the middle. There's a shit fight going on. And I hear that there have been, well, some pretty unsavory sort of things that have been thrown around at each other, which is, look, I mean, it's a clubhouse. It's going to happen. It always has happened. And we'll continue to be able to do it. I don't know who initiated this. I do care, but at the same time, I don't feel like I want to get down to the bottom of it. Being a pretty good judge of character in the past, I wouldn't have picked you to be the type of person who would actually make any type of threat, physical threat towards another person. What was, I guess, look, without going into the meat of it, I don't want to have any threats in here. Fair call? See ya.
Hold on, I was trying to hit the microphone. Yeah, I'm wondering what the threat was. Is that you're not going to sit up here and say X and X about me, and it goes smoothly for you. So that's a threat. That role, if you don't want me as a grown ass man defending myself from people disrespecting me at the highest order, then I just won't come to your room, bro. It's all good. But if somebody's going to sit here, as much respect as I give the mods in the room, right? My time is valuable. And me telling somebody that they're not going to talk to me a certain way, if you guys consider that a threat beyond the threshold of what you guys do, I'll respect the room and I'll tap out.
No, look, I mean, I think it's really good to have like a healthy conversation between people, and sometimes it goes beyond that and people start throwing stuff at each other. And I just don't want to see that happen with you and Adams or anybody for that matter. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to leave both you and Adams to resolve things together and also run the room together. You guys know how I like to be able to have this space, this house run. This is going to be a nice little experiment. I'm going to leave you guys to it. Let's see what goes on. And I'm also going to mod Nye. Let's keep it at that for the time being. Have fun, guys, and I'll see you in a bit.
Wait, I had to say hi to Rohan. I just came up to say hi to you.
Hey, Pockets.
Nope.
Hey, Rohan.
Pockets. Ann.
Wait, can we mod Ann?
It's Anna.
Yeah, hey,
Like, can we mod Ann and Matt? Like, what's happening?
hey,
Deleted. Adams, I want you to be good to CO. CO, you got to be good to Adams. All right, let's try and leave this behind. Let's not have any more fights from here on forth. We try to do that.
Listen, the man got me clipped and he's not blocked. Like, he was able to get up into the room. Like, it is what it is. You know, I'm not petty. You know, unlike that shit that he did with moving Sig down when Jay chose Sig to actually be a moderator and leading a conversation. So, you know, it is what it is. I definitely know that Sig was not talking about black women or any of the type of things that, you know, triggered him to have a separate set of rules, you know, when it comes to saying what I said that got him up in his fifis.
Yeah, gotcha. CO. All right, let's just continue the way it is.
And we all just get along.
We can. I believe we can.
Y'all some motherfucking black on black criminals up in this one. Damn. Crip vs. Blood. Damn. Blood feud.
Who's a criminal? Come on, who's a criminal? Come on, they got me clipped and I went to the. I'm laughing all the way to the bank like a bandit. Closed 2 sales today. It's so crazy.
Man,
you know, ain't God good? Ain't God good?
I'm moving out of somebody said rehash a camp conversation with me here. I don't know what happened, but hey, Ro, if somebody says extreme stuff that's disrespectful to women in the room and the woman comes up and complains about the threat, other than the gentleman Adams is just saying that was egregious, that I said, okay, you guys report it if he's doing it, because I've seen him do that, and I've heard complaints on several rooms where he does that type of stuff in the chat. I didn't see the chat. What do you do in your room, Ro? This is you, JB's room and stuff like that. The young lady Courtney came up. I don't know how to make a report. It happened. What is that? Are you looking at that as a bad thing, Ro? I think it was, black bitch, or whatever. That's the thing I think he summed up on.
You got screenshots, bro? You got some evidence that you want to bring to the stage?
Raise all speculation.
No, hold on. Women, please be silent. So again, do you have any type of evidence that you want to? No. So you're talking about black bitch. Like I said, again, when I came back to my phone after posting, okay, so post the receipts. Post the receipts. Post the proof. PTR the proof.
Just
right.
Right.
No. Auntie Dawn, I got this. So again, listen. PTR the proof, bro. So again, I came back to my office.
You called her a black bitch or not?
I came back. Yes, I did. Right, and I said it because I knew. Right. And let me tell you why I said it. Because I knew it was offensive, and that's exactly why I said it. Because again, she dragged me through those comments before any black bitches were even mentioned. So again, stop trying to retell history in an incongruent and an incorrect manner. I said the shit what I fucking said, and again, I said it with my chest.
Y'all are worse than women.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm worse than a woman. I'm just saying I said what I said. I don't appreciate that comment.
No, but you are worse than a woman because again, you ran up with your mic. You ran up with your mic like a messy Wendy Williams black woman in a fucking blonde wig, and you wanted to announce, oh, you should mass report this person. Oh my God, I'm gonna give you so many DEI reasons why this person should be on this app. Listen, I've been on this app longer than you. Right? And the same black woman and the same People who are dragging me on this app heard my fucking mother come up onto this app and actually have conversations and opening up rooms. So don't come up in a new circle and not read the room and know who the fuck you're talking to. You're getting up in the middle of some shit that has nothing to fucking do with you.
Okay, you're a big guy on the app. I've only been on for 2 months.
I'm a big guy on the app, and you only been on here for 2. Listen.
Go ahead and make more, then talk about. Go ahead.
All right. Continue to be loud and wrong. Continue to be loud and wrong and ignorant without context. Without context. You wanted to sit up in here and talk about how I've had no intellectual conversations? I gave you a list of fucking things that I've discussed on this app that your dumb ass didn't even know about. So again, at the end of the day, you're new. You're a new person into this fold, into this circle, right? So why don't you read the fucking room?
I understand. You finished?
New topic.
Yeah, you finished? Okay, so anybody else have anything to say? How's everyone else's night going? Because I don't want to hear any more whining for the rest of the night, or I'll tap out. So I'm exhausted.
Alright, yeah, you know, I think y'all brothers should just go ahead and bury the hatchet at this point. Y'all might agree to disagree. You know, I understand both sides. I understand where Adams is coming from. I understand where CO is coming from. And it probably won't get resolved tonight. So maybe y'all should just kind of bury the hatchet and like CO is pointing to, maybe let's go ahead and explore some different topics and see where we get, man. I got respect for both of y'all brothers.
Yeah, I'm cool with him. Like, listen, it's not any smoke. Like, he's new. If this was some day one shit, like somebody from season 1, season 2, season 3, doing some crazy shit like this, I'd be going cuckoo, Cocoa Puffs, and fucking bananas. Okay? But again, he's new to the app. As he says, it is what it is. We're not being petty. We choose our battles, right?
Yeah, I really didn't know you guys took the app that seriously, man. It's all good. It's just a little, a tool, but it's I hear you guys got a deep community culture here. No pun intended.
Yeah, well, CO, man, welcome to the community. Now you in it now, bro. You can't leave us. You one of us now. Welcome.
No, it's all good, bro. I've enjoyed some people on this app for whatever it's worth, man. There's been some beautiful people on this app, man, that have blessed the energy and blessed the space, some intellect, and some good conversation that have been had. Who's that talking? Which voice is that?
The Morpheus picture.
Yeah, my man. Okay, I see you.
I've heard in this room that this situation is streamed on YouTube. If that's true, I need my check.
Good luck, honey.
No, if anybody's gonna collect a check on this shit, it's gonna be me first. Okay, because again, this shit would not have happened had it not been for me, right? Racist or not. So at the end of the day, listen, I'm collecting my money first. Y'all can get your money next Tuesday.
All right, man. Look, man. What y'all got planned for the 4th of July?
I didn't know it was coming. I didn't know it was this coming Friday. I'm like, Jesus, it's here already.
You know, the 4th is on a Friday, man. So you know America got to turn up, man. Where the Patriots at? What's cracking? Who got something ready for the grill? Y'all gonna drink some whiskey or something? Y'all got some beer? Who gonna do the ribs? Somebody got the potato salad.
Y'all heard what happened to me on Clubhouse last year. I went to Huntington Beach and almost got lynched. I'm staying my black ass in Hollywood, and I'm probably going to work.
Why you almost get lynched at Huntington Beach?
White liberal top moms.
Yeah, man, you might as well go to Dockweiler then.
You should go to Dockweiler.
Dockweiler is the people's beach.
That's a black beach.
It's the people's beach now.
Exactly.
White folks is coming down to Dockweiler.
That's a cool beach.
Wait, Gildas, you remember that room? You remember that room where we were talking about what was it, Bruce's Beach? And we were going over, property by property and block by block, and we were looking at past sales and just looking at, the collective cost of construction and, how these black families, you remember that? That was actually the one time that Goat and I actually agreed. It's crazy.
Nah, I still got the beaches you recommended me in Orange County, man. If you remember that time, you would recommend me some beaches down by San Juan Capistrano and shit.
Yep. Strands.
Low key beaches. Yeah, I still got those, and the family is hitting those this summer for sure.
Yo, that's one of the only beaches in Southern California with an elevator. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Do anybody else got plans for the holiday? Did it sneak up on you? Are you proud to be an American, or you just, you hate America? You want Hamas to take over and make it their Independence Day? What's going on?
Wait, so what would Palestinian Independence Day look like? You pull your dick out of a goat and you're just like, I'm free!
Well, you wouldn't be able to get any food because there would be Hamas would take the food as soon as it came off the boat, so you wouldn't be able to really grill anything.
That's wild. Adam,
What's up?
how is it being a Republican in California? I really want to know.
It's actually pretty great. With all this drama that was going on, I was actually going to open up a room and simulcast a live stream of me driving through the Palisades. No, seriously, I went there yesterday, and I know I was going to go there this weekend. It was just really hard, y'all. That's a part of my childhood, just visiting family members, going to shops and doing soccer tournaments and whatnot. It's pretty hard. Everything that people are seeing on the news, it's completely fake. Those lots are being stripped and they're going to be sold to developers any day now. It's complete propaganda.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
And then how is it in LA? Is it now settled down there?
Yeah, I was in downtown LA this past weekend for the Wu-Tang Clan concert, and it was chill. It wasn't nothing going on.
Right, people were chilling up in LA. I'm just saying, as far as the protests and the ICE and all this other shit, people aren't practically paying attention to what's happening in Altadena and, over in the Palisades. It's crazy.
Portland is pretty bad every night, too.
I want to move to Portland, man. Will I get lynched up there as a black man, or is it cool?
Yes.
I'll get lynched? All right, man.
Yes. No, that's one of those drug places where they allow you to responsibly inject heroin. You could be sitting at Starbucks and somebody could poke you with a freaking AIDS heroin needle. I hate the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, free the goo guys, please. They're asking, Adrian. I don't know who else to say.
Y'all blind or something?
Yo, what's up? You don't follow me anymore. I got clipped. I'm trying to learn on this app.
Is the app kind of lagging?
Portland is pretty liberal. You're fine as a black person, so don't believe that shit.
Okay. Yeah, every time I press a button, it's delayed.
I just think y'all didn't want a black dude on the stage. That's all I think. That's fucked up.
No, bro. So one of the mods up in this, Pocahontas, smoked a peace pipe powwow. He called for me to be clipped after calling a fat black woman, a bald-headed fat black woman, which she was. She had a chia pet, just like I don't know what it, like, what do you call it, like a floral arrangement, like on top of her head. It was like clipped to her scalp, and yeah, so he called for me to get clipped, and I got clipped. And mind you, all of this happened in the chat, and my phone was in my desk when I came back, and yeah, I was clipped.
So what actually happens when you get clipped? Do you have to like get a fake phone number to get back on the app, or you just have to wait for a certain amount of time?
Well, that was my burner account, which I didn't want to say the quiet part out loud. Like, I still have my main account, which has like I think it's like 4,500 followers. I just don't use it for this reason because, again, I'm on my final strike on that account. So I did have to subscribe to a service where it's like, I think it's like $3 a month or some shit like that, where I had to get like a number and come back onto the app.
Okay. Yeah, I had a burner, but I forgot it. You know, I used like temporary number to get the text message. I did that once, but I forgot all about it. Shit.
But, you know, Dr. Matt and Adrian, you just know what to expect from here on out. I'm going to be Craig 2.0.
Yeah, I didn't think that clip and shit was still going on. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I thought that shit ended when they had them scissors and that shit ended. Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But, yeah. So, just be careful, you know. Just
Hey,
be
what
very
about
careful.
that dude though that we was in the room with last night? Well, I was cooking the hell out of his ass. What's his name? Truth? Where the fuck did he go? Did he ever come in on that?
I think he actually got removed from the house early this morning.
I was cooking his ass like a hibachi chef on this motherfucker.
And that's what I'm saying, Sam. And like, I want to go up to the Pacific Northwest to enjoy some of that good nature. But they telling me I might get lynched, so I might have to.
I'm telling you, dude,
Never
bro,
happened.
Jesus like it doesn't. Listen, the
No,
last
no,
lynching.
no.
Hold on. The last lynching that happened in America has been like like almost 40 years ago.
Why do you even say that?
Like it's crazy to me. Like it's so crazy to me.
40? That's kind of recent.
The fuck do you mean it's kind of recent? Are you even 40?
It's 2 generations. I'll be 40 next year.
All right, so you don't remember it. What are you talking about? Get out the way.
No, I'm still dead set on getting up there, man. I want to get to Washington or Oregon along that coast. That's
Oregon beaches are better, and Washington has excellent mountains and hiking.
No, but you know, Gildas, I'm going to be going out there for the Olympic track tryouts when 2028 is coming up to, you know, Los Angeles. I'm going to go sit up there with my daddy and watch them tryouts.
Alright. Yeah, man, I mean, I'm gonna get up there eventually, man. I'm just trying to buy my time, save my money, stack my chips, let this equity grow. And I'm gonna be up there, man. I want 20 acres up there somewhere.
I'm wearing my Trump hat on the floor.
Have you thought about, like, San Bernardino County?
San Bernardino?
Oh, that's where I am now.
San Bernardino.
Man, that's where I am now. I like it, but I want to get by the trees. I want to get to that evergreen.
So, I mean, you know, Lake Arrowhead, that's in San Bernardino County, correct?
Yeah, but it's not the same combination of like coastal pine and ocean, you know, ocean and trees. It's mountain, and I love that too. But my ultimate goal is to have like trees and ocean right up
What
on
about Carmel?
stuff.
No, what you need is Seaside, Astoria, and a beach. Or
Man, that dude just
like
said
Carmel.
he just want to go and relive Twilight.
Well, I never saw Twilight, but if that's what they own, man, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, but if you go to the Pacific Northwest, you're just like you're basically not on a beach. You're like on a shore next to a fucking lake. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know, bro. Like I mean, I feel like maybe Carmel.
That's why I said the Oregon coast, the Seaside, Astoria, Cannon Beach. You are on the coast. You have forest land right bordering the highway. It's the best of what you want right there.
That's what I'm looking for. I really want that Oregon coast.
Check out Crescent City. It's as far north as you can go in California, right by the Oregon border.
And I've heard of that too.
Beach town, awesome place. Really.
Yeah, once you get up by Eureka, you're basically in Oregon.
Yeah, but that's the Emerald Triangle, and there's some weird shit in the Emerald Triangle. You gotta go further. Okay. Crescent City is like, leave me the fuck alone. You believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. It's a good mix of liberal and conservative, but they're not going at each other over politics. It's about unity there, man. Crescent City is your spot.
Crescent City. I'm gonna bookmark that,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Thank you for that.
I'm sorry, William. You know, you know how me and my peeps get down. We don't go any north.
A lot cheaper outside of California, also.
We don't go any north than Salinas County.
So I just have one question about all these places y'all are naming.
Yes.
Are they pro 2A?
Yeah, I think anywhere outside of San Francisco and LA is pro 2A in California, for sure.
Alright, because somebody said Portland and all of that.
Yeah, like I don't want to do Portland, the city, but I do want to fuck with that Oregon coast, man.
Yeah.
That shit looks beautiful.
Nobody needs to live in Portland right now.
In California,
I'm cool on Portland.
Hey, in California, the code word is, do you have a secret garden? It means, do you have a metal box where you bury your illegal shit? So you don't say 2A, you just go, do you have a secret garden? Are you down with a secret garden?
Yeah, if I gotta speak in code, then I don't even want to be there.
Honestly, Adrian, like when you look at like Appalachia people and like people in Texas, like hills have eyes type of people, the only difference between those said people and the people that live in the Central Coast and in places in Northern California is that they shop at Nordstrom's. That's really the only difference.
Which was founded in Seattle.
Exactly.
And is it really as gray up there as people say? Like it's gray all the time?
No. We have 180 days of overcast weather. We have 4 months of summer from June through September, and we have 36 inches of rain, which is similar to New York, but our rain is very fine and long-lasting. It doesn't just rain and stop. It can be like a Chinese water torture.
Yeah, well, I lived in New York for over 10 years, so I was cool with that. I like that.
But in New York, it rains and stops. Here, it just continually drips.
Yeah, but 6 months of overcast, that shit seems like it's
not 6 months of overcast. It's not every day. Like, you know, you have, you know, marine break, you know, during the late afternoons, you know, around sunset time. Like, it's not overcast every day. Now, yes, it does get dark a little bit sooner than other places, but it's not overcast every single day.
That's not at all.
You get the heat and the humidity.
But
we have no humidity up here. No humidity.
I love the country heat and humidity, baby.
We've been here for 73 years. 73 years.
But in the summertime, it stays light till like 10, 11 o'clock at night, man. You get off work and you got like
I mean, look, I'm born
to settle.
But see, like, look, I'm born and raised in Georgia, so I mean, I like what I like, right? I mean, shit, I love it. I'm a country boy at heart.
I'm a country boy son myself. Again, you know, cicadas and mosquito bites. Like, I get it.
What's going on up in the Northwest? Because, you know,
Wait, hold on. Let Adrian cook. Go ahead, Adrian.
No. I'm done. I'm just saying, man. Goddamn, I'm just a country boy, man. Hey, that GA red clay is all in my veins, but give me the heat and the humidity. I'm a summer baby.
Let me ask y'all this: if y'all got some input on the Pacific Northwest, I went to an HBCU, a black college, and everybody that I met who was from Oregon or Washington, they were light skinned, and I'm a dark skinned nigga. So, are there any dark skinned black people in the Pacific Northwest?
Yes, only 3% black.
What are you talking about?
We have 10% Asian. We have more Asians, 3 times more Asians than we do black.
And a growing amount of Africans. And a growing amount of Africans.
Very white.
Black people I ever met from the Pacific.
Like, what are you talking about?
3% black in Seattle.
No, I mean, they can be black, but...
No, David, what he's saying as far as, the color spectrum, as far as, black people up there. Yes, you do have dark, melanated people that are up there. Sure, you do. You have Africans, a lot of Africans that are up there. It's if you're speaking specifically to black Americans,
yes.
Yeah, you do have a lot of people that, are kind of tan-toned and whatnot. But at the same time, are you going to see the same type of people in Los Angeles? Probably not. I mean, it's one of those things, people need to understand, the migration patterns behind a lot of black America,
And, look, Adams.
I mean, you and I know this.
Look, when I lived on the East Coast, I lived in D.C. and I lived in New York. And I never came across a black person on the East Coast who was light-skinned with green eyes.
Oh, that's great. In New York? What part of New York did you stay at?
No, I was in Brooklyn. I was in Bed-Stuy.
What?
Yes.
Yo, you capping. You're literally capping at this point.
Bro.
This is
from New York.
What?
Were born there. They are not. Nobody on the East Coast is light skinned like that.
Bro.
And light skin doesn't get no play on the East Coast.
Bro.
You look like you're from out of state.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if you go to New York, I mean, are you talking are we having a diaspora conversation or a black American conversation?
We talking about black American conversation.
Okay, then yeah, no, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Yes. Yes. And honestly, I will say, my ex-girlfriend, she's Italian and black American. She has green eyes. And it's one of those things where, she grew up in Connecticut and, that's just how people get down in the East Coast. But I feel like even that's an anomaly.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's an anomaly. You know what I mean? If you're going to go to upstate New York, or if you're going to go to parts of Long Island, or, parts of kind of close to West Point and whatnot, yeah, you're gonna have some black people with black American features, 4C hair all day long. You see what I'm saying? But once you get
the black people in New York that I met were Caribbean.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They mostly Caribbean. But
I see what you're saying.
American that has hazel eyes and hazel hair, I only see that shit on the West Coast.
But you gotta say Caribbean European. You see what I'm saying? Because Caribbean and Caribbean European is a whole different thing. You see what I'm saying? There's people who came from Europe, did their thing in the Caribbean, had kids, did not necessarily, intermix with the indigenous Caribbean population, and, kept it pushing. So it's kind of one of those things. You know what I mean?
But hey, keep in mind, the Pacific Northwest is a lot like Japan. If you're dark skinned in Japan, they literally will come up and want to touch you and look at you. They're mystified by it. You're like a novelty. And the same kind of, yeah, man.
No. And let me tell you something. So I used to work for a company that had their headquarters up in Seattle. So I used to have to fly out there a lot. I would say that dark-skinned people are very well respected in Washington. Very well respected. Actually, arguably, probably more respected than the mixed race and lighter-skinned people that the people in said Seattle are used to. That's just kind of one of those things. It's a different ecosystem. It's an international city. I don't think that they get credit enough for being an international city as they are. You have people that are as dark as Shaq, dark as Shaq, but they come from Sri Lanka. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at the ecosystem as far as how the attitudes in, you know, Seattle are very different from the rest of the country, it's just very different.
Yeah, but Seattle's very different from what he's talking about. He's talking about rural, forest with the beach. It's way different than the rest of
That's why we told him Oregon coast.
Yeah, I know.
We told him Oregon coast.
I know I'd be the only fucking dark-skinned person for a long time, you know. And that's cool, but if I want to go visit Portland or Seattle, like I said, when I was on the East Coast and I met people who were from Washington and Oregon and were African American, their family were from the South, I guess you call them ADOS. They were all very light-skinned. But I mean, it doesn't bother me either way. Like, I can get in where I fit in. It's all good. But, you know, it's just like
come and visit and decide for yourself.
Yeah. That's exactly what I need to do, you know. But either way, man, I'm going to get up there and I'm going to get me 20 acres.
Have you guys been to Vegas?
Oh, hell yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Vegas?
I'll tell you, I was in Vegas about a month ago. My favorite thing about Vegas is the food. It's like you can get the international cuisine scene up there if you know where to go. My second favorite thing is the gun ranges, because they let you shoot everything almost up to a damn rocket launcher.
Yeah, Vegas is, if you want to go to a city where there's, you know, currency any more pointed towards meritocracy, it's definitely Vegas.
And I love how strict I don't know if it's the police or the sheriff, but I love how strict they are. I love that they don't play no games. They're not like California. Your ass got a little roach in the ashtray of your car, you're going to jail, nigga. And I like that. Enforce the law. They do not let shit get out of hand up there.
Yeah, it's crazy. My parents got married in Vegas.
Yeah, I went to a Vegas wedding during COVID. My wife's best friend got married in Vegas and they live out there now. I love Vegas. It's a fine town, but I find that, like, if you're staying in one of the casino hotels, I can't stay for more than like 3 nights. That's the most I can do.
More than 3 nights is not healthy.
Yeah, like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. You're losing money.
What?
You're getting lung cancer.
What?
Fucking, like...
This is blasphemy.
Nah, like, unless you live there, like, if I had because I went to somebody's Airbnb and that was cool, but like staying on the strip for more than 3 nights, nah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, when I moved back to California and I was on my leave of absence, I stayed there for about 2 weeks. It was actually very, very, very insightful.
But did you stay in a hotel or did you like actually have a spot? You stayed in the MGM for 2 weeks and you didn't die of lung cancer?
No.
Or alcohol poisoning?
No.
Damn.
I know, it was crazy.
A real one.
It's crazy. So basically we drove across country when I was moving back, and I drove from Miami to Los Angeles, and, you know, Vegas was kind of one of the stops on the way. And, you know, my mom, in her health, it was kind of one of those things where she couldn't sustain a journey for too long, you know, by car. So we just decided to stop and see some of her old friends, and just hang out. It was actually a really good experience.
Okay, so which is the better part of the city? I've never been to Miami or Vegas.
I mean, now that Vegas has built the Fontainebleau, I personally haven't been there yet since they've opened. Like I don't know. Like it's one of those things. Like in my personal opinion, I love Miami. I can go to a club, get outside, get my Uber, go back to my hotel. Like it's a very seamless experience. In Vegas, it's kind of one of those things where you're like subjugated to like the big bottled like nightclubs and like the funk pit, like like the fist pumping and all that other extraness. You know what I mean? Like I personally don't like that.
Yeah.
So for me personally, like going out to Miami, I like to go to lounges and listen to like easy listening music. You know what I mean? And eventually go over to the club and turn up. Whereas Vegas, it's like it's either one or the other.
Yeah, I went to Vegas for my friend's birthday. He's a kind of a big time DJ in LA, and he wanted to do his like bro's birthday in Vegas, and so I drove out there from San Bernardino County. And I'm a married man with 3 kids. You guys all know this. And man, it's like he had a cabana or something like that overlooking the pool, and the women were just like in bikinis and their ass cheeks were out. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm cheating on my wife just being here. And I imagine it's a similar thing in Miami, but I'm like, damn, man, I haven't been out in the wild in a long time. Like, I've been married, and I just, cut my lawn and cook food and take care of my kids. So it was a strange experience for me. Now, I used to go when I was single, but, like, we didn't know where the fuck we were doing. We were just aimless walking up and down the strip. But now that I'm, an adult with a family, I'm like, damn, man, this shit feels like I'm gonna sin on accident.
I mean, I would say that Miami is a very different Miami. Even from, like, my grandparents moved down there in 99. My great-grandma, when she moved to this country, she's always been down there. So I've been going down there since I was, like, 5 or 6. So, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I've looked at the progression as far as how you can navigate Miami, and now it's like a Latino petting zoo. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm not trying to sound racist, in explaining it like that, but it's like everything is just like so pro-Latino. Like it's almost like it feels like going to a different country. You know what I mean?
Like Tijuana?
No, I would say like Tijuana. I grew up going to Tijuana as well, and Tijuana is I mean the graffiti and the degeneracy and things like that.
Derelict it is. It's just dilapidated.
I would compare it to like Costa Rica. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, and Costa Rica is a beautiful country. Panama is a beautiful country.
I refuse to leave the United States. I don't want to go to any third world tourist destinations. I don't want to go to the Caribbean. I don't want to go to Latin America, Brazil. Like, the most exotic thing I'll do is Hawaii.
Which island?
Tijuana is not a great representation of the true culture and beauty of Mexico.
Wait, but Don, so Gildas, which island in Hawaii?
I don't know, because I've never been to Hawaii.
So, I mean, do you like more city in Honolulu, or do you like more, just...
Like, I would like to go to the beach and it be serene and quiet, whichever island that is. I don't need to go to the city.
Big island.
Okay,
Maui or Kauai?
Okay, yeah, something like that.
Big island too.
But, like, my friends are
like... parts of the Big Island. I will say
like, oh, let's go to Colombia. And I'm like, hell no, are you kidding me?
Colombia's beautiful.
I would never go.
not me.
Beautiful people.
Yeah, no, I've been to Colombia.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I went to a third world country once, and I ain't never leaving America for no shit like that again.
So, I mean, what about Panama? I've been to Panama quite a few times, and
I mean, if I had family down there, maybe, because I got family from
I do have quite a few family members down there.
Yeah, but my family from Belize is trying to convince me to come down there, and I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm not trying to get sick. I want to be able to drink the
Yeah,
water.
but I mean, Panama is completely different than Belize. I mean, Panama is, it's industrialized to the same degree as, LA.
Because they got that canal.
Well, I mean, the canal, that's obviously a very important part of it. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you have a Ritz-Carlton down there. I mean, there's, Trump actually had towers in Panama, and he built his building, from what I understand, to a certain type of aesthetic that didn't fit in with the skyline, and, they asked him to disinvest in his interest down there.
But that was a financial raping that he was doing with that agreement, and they wanted to get out of that.
I mean, David, I'm trying to be PC. I'm a work in progress. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
It was a bad deal for them.
I mean, I can understand that.
But I mean, they went into it wanting it. They thought his name was important. He also provided some management and expertise, and then they kind of grew out of what they needed from him.
I can understand that.
I don't want to go
absolutely
anywhere where there are bandits. I don't want to go anywhere where people are robbing tourists, that kind of thing. So,
no, they're definitely not robbing tourists in Panama. Panama is actually more safer, than Mexico. Like it's crazy. Panama's definitely more safer than Mexico. The only thing that I will say is my dad, he's like me. We go to the gym, several days a week, and he was jogging around Panama City without his shirt on, and they have certain public decency laws, that people have to adhere to, whether you're a Panamanian citizen or not. But aside from that, Panama's a great country. I went down there actually for my 13th birthday. It was a really good experience. Really good experience, and great people. It's a very safe country, and I feel like people should look to that as, an touristic alternative, to what is, dangerous Mexico.
Yeah, I would never go to Mexico for anything unless I had to rescue my child, like Liam Neeson. It's Hawaii or New Orleans. That's the most exotic I'll get. Africa, no way, Jose. I'm not going on safari.
Yeah, no, my
going to
dad.
South Africa.
My dad and my stepmom went to Senegal, and that was kind of like one of those things.
Hell
yeah, and they went to.
I'm not about to eat no monkey meat.
They went to the Serengeti. They went to freaking Ghana and all these other places. And my dad was like, it's a lot, y'all. I mean,
yeah, I don't want no culture shock. I would definitely never go to India. I heard that India is the hardest place for an American to go as a tourist.
Thailand is kind of cool. They love the Americans there.
Yeah, Thailand's pretty cool.
Very inexpensive too.
I might go to Taiwan. I might go to Tokyo. I'll fuck with Tokyo.
Hong Kong's not bad. My dad lived
fuck
there.
with Hong Kong. I'll fuck with Hong Kong.
My dad lived there for a couple months when I was in middle school, and Hong Kong's not bad. It's a great place. And Beijing's not bad either. I don't know why people give China so much smoke.
Chinese smoke. The air pollution is off the charts.
Well, I mean, I get the air pollution issue, but Chinese people are so nice. They're so respectful. Anytime they come to the country, they're very friendly, and I just feel like they get a lot of negative smoke for no reason.
I didn't even like it when I went to Paris, and I thought I would love Paris.
Paris is an Arab Palestinian petting zoo. It's literally Paris. Paris is going to be the Islamic the Islamic country of France in like 2 years. Tops.
I couldn't fuck with Paris. It was cool because they were showing me a lot of love as a black American. And I guess there's just a history of that since World War II. And when I told somebody, oh, I'm out here visiting from Brooklyn, they were like, oh, we're buying all your drinks tonight. You're going to have a great time. They even tried to like push a 16-year-old girl to my face. And they were like, yo, you should have, make love to her. And I'm like, no, in America, we don't do 16. Do you have a 25-year-old? I was about 22 at the time. And I was like, okay, even this, like, I can't fuck with Paris. Like, it was cool. It's like a small-ass city. You can walk the whole shit one day. But I like the food. The food is good. I love the chefs and all of that. But that shit is ghetto. It's ghetto outside of, like, the Champs-Elysees and all of that. Outside of that,
see what I mean?
And all of that, it's ghetto as fuck. And I was like,
see what I mean? See what I mean?
Ghetto.
And so, you know what's really crazy? Somebody that made a beach recommendation, I made a beach recommendation towards that person in traveling in California. So my uncle used to live down at that beach, and for some reason, he just decided that him and his wife wanted to move to Italy and France. And now they're living in a Palestinian petting zoo. Like it's like their whole entire country has been invaded. Like it's so crazy that people are not talking about this.
Yeah, and everyone that I met in Paris who was black around my age, I was like, okay, so what do you do for a living? Now, here's what I'll give you about Paris and what I love about France. Everybody is like a philosopher. Everyone you speak to, like, is a philosopher. And I was talking to a chick that I met there, like, at the bar, whatever. They only have Jack Daniels available as American liquor. And she was like, oh, I work at Disneyland part-time. And I was like, God damn, you don't have a better job than that? But at the same time, she was like, the only reason, like, she was trying to psychoanalyze me at the bar. And I was like, God damn, like, this bitch is intelligent. Like, she knows philosophy. And she's trying to, like, put me on the Freudian couch while we're talking over drinks and we just met. And you can't find that in America, because bitches in America be like, I'm horny, I wanna fuck, you ready to fuck? And that's how bitches are in America when you, like, drinking at a bar. But broads in Paris, even the black girls, like Senegalese girls, like whatever, they're like, so did your mother, did she talk to you about Plato? And I'm like, nah, she never said no shit about that. She talked to me about Jesus. Well, you have to investigate that. And then we fucked. And I was like, God damn, these Parisian bitches is on when it comes to the philosophy. But they broke as fuck because they got socialized everything out there. So they don't even have ambition. They're just like, yeah, I can work at Disneyland for the rest of my life, I guess. Or I can be a waiter for the rest of my life, I guess. But they're philosophical waitresses in Paris, and that's dope. But they ain't trying to make six figures for no reason. They don't even want to make six figures. They think money is evil.
So, where have you guys been that you, for work or tourism, right, whatever it was?
I've only been to two.
Yeah,